I love how it's you. My phone literally went ba-doop for your.
Yeah, because I just started.
For your fucking stream.
Yeah, because the algorithm is put me out there, which is good. I'm doing an experiment. I'm gonna see if I did some pseudo like Trump stuff, like put hashtag MAGA or something in my YouTube title. I'm gonna see if that gets some Trump guys to pop in, because I've been kind of itching to argue with one of them or a few of them.
You're just itching for a fight, aren't you?
Maybe I am.
Dude, we went to this kick-ass bar last night. Fucking awesome.
What bar?
It was a Shining theme. I don't remember what it was called, but we were. Tyler's really wanted to do karaoke.
Oh, the Highway Watermark or whatever, or the Hideaway.
No, so we were there. They didn't have karaoke, and then we went to this Shining themed bar. That's in like Chinatown.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I went there once. Glass looks beautiful. Well, you know I've had it forever. Well, maybe not forever, but I've had it for a while now. I've had it since 420 earlier this year.
I've had what?
This piece, which I got at my at my workplace that I'm working at now. It wasn't at the time. It was cleaner than usual because it got cleaned not that long ago. It probably needs another deep clean because it hasn't gotten that since Chicago, but I got a little cleaned out. Hit from the bone, taking hits from the bone. I don't know, what side you lean on or anything firm, but I'm doing an experiment seeing if MAGA chuds come in here. At a head shop just down the road. You should. I mean, I'm working at like a vape, e-cig, glass kratom shop, basically. I mean, it's pretty laid back. Though there's a couple things that need to get fixed up, mostly kind of on their end of things, but after that, it should be all finally streamlined and shit too. I kind of had a little panic from the other night because they wanted me to come in at like 10 a.m. to like 6 or some shit. But I was like asleep up until about like 4. Didn't see the message until like 6:30 or 7. I was like, oh fuck. So I responded back, and then I showed up at the shop a little bit later mentioning like, hey, just want to make sure I still have my drop thing or whatever, no showing or nothing. I'm just like this like he sent the message at 9 in the morning too, by the way. So it's like this hour ahead. It's before I have to kind of do these shift things. It's like a little bit of a little lackluster communication there. Like if it was the night before, then I could be like, all right, cool, then just sleep sooner and then get up. And then no, not today, but yesterday, like they wanted me to come in, but I didn't know that until shortly after I woke up later in the evening when I saw the message after I got a message from my dad or something, or my brother. I think it was my brother. And then I saw that and I went, oh fuck, well, because he asked later at some point if I don't want to work anymore, let me know and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I still want to. What the fuck? And I looked back and I saw he wanted me to come in. I'm like, huh? That what? I mean,
I would be concerned that he's jumping to that conclusion.
Well, no, because I saw him today. I did go over there today and talk to him, and he was actually very chill about being like, okay, cool, still want to draw, that's good, just want to make sure. But yeah, we're just still trying to get some shit figured out on our end too, so yeah, I'll hit you up like later this evening or tomorrow about, at least, getting the paycheck, the first one sorted out, and then all that, and then at least working with HR to fix it so I can actually clock in and clock off, when I show up and shit. Stuff like that. So, I mean, if he's talking about getting that shit resolved and making sure I can, like, clock in and stuff, then I don't really think I got anything to be worried about. I mean, it just sounds like it's just kind of like, clusterfuck on their end, and I just happen to be hired when they're just trying to now get it fixed up and shit. It's whatever. I mean, it's not exactly unusual. I've been on the employee end where it's been clusterfuck shit like that before, so... And
I guess I've just been fortunate, and I've never had to deal with that shit.
I mean... Unfortunately, it's a thing in, big and small, employments and shit. I've been on, like, the end of it as an employee, having to, like, help train people, and then I don't really know shit, and then it's, like, a week goes by, they're not there again, and then they come back later beyond the schedule. It's just yonky shit, and it's so annoying, because, like, it doesn't really help the employees either, especially when we don't know if we're going to be training people or not. And then on top of that, it's just like, we're just kind of like there to just be whatever and hope for the best, I guess, but at the same time, also at least have somewhat of a good impression, to the new guy, right? And I'd say, like, so far, like, impressions are good and everything. It's just about, like, is their, upper end of things going to get shit fixed up so I can actually, like, be officially on the shit. Because I showed him the app, that is linked in with all that shit and everything. And the dashboard that is supposed to, like, have my clock in, clock off stuff there is not there. Like, it should be. Because it should have been automatically there from the get-go. Like, when I got my shit set up. So, it's one of those things where it's just like, I just am kind of like, I just have to wait for them to fix it, I guess, and then officially I'll be able to clock in and off and stuff and actually have the official hours set, so. I don't know, there's not much I could do besides just show up when they want me to. And hopefully they communicate that better than an hour before they want me to come in. I prefer that, like, so. Are you working at a branch shop or a mom-pop style operation? I understand not saying the actual name because MAGA chose, but yeah.
That's corporate, isn't it?
It's kind of a mix of both. Like, it's a regional brands where they have, like, multiple stores, like 20 different stores and stuff throughout Oregon, mostly in Portland. And they started here, like, and the third store is the one I'm working at. And, like, basically, from my understand, it's owned by, like, 3 brothers, so it is kind of like a mom and pop thing, but...
Oh, is it owned by 3 brothers?
Yeah, one of them's the vice president who I've met before. I've met, like, the actual owner once, and he seemed pretty chill, but I didn't actually get to talk to him or anything. He just happened to, be there when I was talking to the GM once, and he just kind of did his own thing, so... He seems really chill. From my understanding, I heard he's actually the cool one. The vice president guy, I feel like he is chill, but really fucking intense, if that makes sense. He's not like an asshole, but he can come across as that, like, right off the bat if you aren't, like, used to it or
That's
don't.
how my fucking boss is. My boss comes...
I mean, he ain't my boss
like,
either.
Super nice, and then he'll be, like, super fucking intense when you're not doing your job.
That's kind of how I feel like he is, but he's not like an asshole, but he's just really intense because, like, as a vice president, he's, like, hey, we must have things and you people doing stuff for us to make monies and blah, 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 and all this other shit. So it's just like, but he's not being like an asshole saying, like, you're all just literally not doing anything, fuck you guys, like, you're all lazy. Like, he's not being an asshole. Like, he's just saying, y'all not doing anything, well, here, I'm gonna make y'all do stuff. You new guy, right? Yes, okay, I quiz you on things. Like, I know he has to either be, like, Syrian or Iranian, and I know for sure, especially when it comes to business, like, it's just my observation, they tend to be either, like, pretty chill, or like the most intense motherfuckers ever, and it doesn't really seem like there's any in between. And so far, one of them, who's the actual owner, seems very chill, and the other one very intense. So it seems like my observations seem to be consistent so far on that. Franchise to totally do better then. Well, it's. I mean, honestly, it seems like it's not even necessarily like the actual management's fault, from what I understand. It's like how my like account with the app, like paychecks, is what it's called. Like it's about like how I guess my shit got set up. So the actual like higher ups from like also with that app too need to actually directly go in and fix it. Like so it's not even necessarily their fault or mine. It's kind of like the mixture of the higher up slash like the app too and the company doing that shit. Like it's just a third party thing that they're kind of going around to it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Middle Easterns, in my experience, stand on business pleasant, while business is good, and very cutthroat and business is bad. Goddamn, I'm correct. Made me sound racist. I mean, it didn't make you sound like it. I mean, honestly, that seems pretty accurate to my experience too. But like I said, it's because they're either businessmen or business owners or whatever. So I totally get it. They probably moved here trying to make a living, and they ain't trying to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? I kind of get it. So that's why I'm not saying that he's like an asshole about it, but he could just come across as that for at least the one time I talked with him and all that shit. Because being the new guy, it was definitely kind of intimidating, I will admit. Because I'm like, I kind of got a general familiarity with everything here. I'm actually know more than I thought, coming in here, knowing that there's things like Kratom here and other shit and stuff. So I'm like, honestly, this is gonna be easier than I thought. It was just like literally one thing with like the coils and the box mods and shit where he was like, "You gotta learn this, blah blah blah." Downtime, you sit down and look at product and blah. And I was just kind of like, "Oh, okay." Fair enough, actually. And I've already been kind of doing that occasionally, but I'm just kind of like, fuck it. All right, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna do that way more than I have been already. Hey, what's up, Stefan? I've seen crazy shit Trump's been posting about Chicago. Oh, yeah. Well, I just came back from Chicago literally the weekend before this shit happened. Like, literally, if we went to Chicago the weekend after, like, or if System of a Down had their show the weekend after instead of the weekend that we went, we would have been there for this shit. Like, but we literally left pretty much the week before, like the weekend before, which thank God. I didn't really want to be there with that shit going on. Though if it did, I would have been there to protest it. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'd just straight up be like, fuck this administration. I'll protest it here in Portland, protest it out there in Chicago. I don't give a shit. I just won't be as radical in Chicago because I ain't trying to get gaffled by ICE or DHS or whatever, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to have that shit happen. But I'll still be there for it. The documents Democrats released are even more damning than everyone suspected. Well, no shit. It's a part of these Epstein files. Like, anything in the Epstein files are going to be way more damning than people realize. I mean, it's just obvious and a fact now that there is just like a literal elite pedophile ring that has been, in this fucking country, and is probably still active, just not with Epstein anymore. Like, I mean, that's kind of another thing that, I know for a fact is why, I feel like a lot of these files aren't going to be released. Like, there's going to be shit released. Obviously, there's already been some. But, dude, Epstein was just, one of the many different fucking fall guys when it comes to sex trafficking organization. He just happened to be the biggest bad bitch, when it comes to fucking doing it. The bad motherfucker that everyone went to because he was the one who did it best, basically. And had the right connections. But do you think he's the only guy? Of course he ain't. There's plenty more out there. It's a whole ring. It's a sex trafficking ring for a reason. You got your main head. You got the big top dogs up there. But that don't mean shit. There's other, lower underlings and fucking weird pests down there, too. And not only is this current administration, but half this fucking government is basically ran by this fucking organization. And it's done globally, too, by the way. Multiple governments are in on this shit. The Catholic Church certainly is in on this shit. And they have their own little ring and organization around it. So it's just a fact that, like, global elites and, these higher powers are just involved in this. Remember back in the day, like in the mid to late 2000s and even in early 2010s, when that was like anti Semitic / Nazi conspiracy theory shit, and now it's just obviously known as just fact. I love how a lot of like that shit, like the Nazis basically are getting fucked in a way with this, and I kind of love it. Like all these, ooh, we're always right. It's like, nah, it's not that you're all right. You just happen to be right on that, but y'all still trash and y'all still fucking suck, and y'all still have insane, psychotic bullshit. So fuck you. It's like the broken clock right twice a day metric. It's like just because he happened to be maybe once or twice don't mean shit. Like Hitler was a fucking like pro animal loving environmentalist kind of guy. Does that mean like animal rights and environmentalism are bad things now or some shit? It's like fuck out of here. You know what I mean? It's like come on. Rochester had a base ice protest. ICE was harassing roofing workers, and people came out, slashed ice tires, and forced them to leave in a shitty car. Perfect. Good. Fuck them. When everyone thought the UN was going to be peacefully create a world government, and we'd be on our way to face fairer ways. I don't even really think people truly believed that in the 90s. Dude, I mean, when it comes to like some of the politics that were going on shortly after the fall of the Soviet Union, and then the whole East-West thing, like I don't know, dude. There's a lot of other geopolitical factors where it's like, yeah, well, now that we kind of gotten rid of like that commie, evil shit now we got to deal with some other threats, but we'll have to deal with them as they come along, because we have to make sure that we still got to maximize our power. Hence Yeltsin, in Russia, for example. Like, like instilling these people to essentially kind of like do a quiet, really just a westernized like economic takeover. And then, it essentially creates like a whole fucking subverted, really not a sense of like trying to unite people, but just like reaping the profits of the fucking crumbled ashes of the Soviet Union. And, from the Eastern world from that. Or at least an attempt to. And then Bush helped accelerate that with China unintentionally growing their power immensely by fucking, putting them into the WTO. Or at least helping, exacerbate their plans to get into it. All conspiracists are projecting all along. Well, of course they are, because these Nazis and crazy conspiracy theorists are the ones who are usually perpetuating this shit. How dare you besmirch the good name of the glorious God Emperor, who even Yahweh bows down to? Well, hey, the point is I'm trying to get MAGA guys in here. Those same Nazis defending the Epstein chief? Well, of course they are. They all are doing it. Fun fact, the Emperor and 40K LARPed as Jesus for a while. Well, it's not surprised. Look at the way fiction portrayed the future in the 90s. That's what I'm talking about. Well, sure, the fiction. But that's fiction. And even then, there's a certain extent of fiction, from that time where it's kind of like really commentating on the reality that, yeah, things still kind of are sucky. Like, and still to this day kind of stand the test of time for, being films like they are. Like Falling Down, Boys in the Hood, like these different movies, like, we're commentating of like, yes, shit still sucks. We're not close to this whole, like, thing, that we're looking at when it comes to the future and shit, you know what I mean? I mean, not to kind of burst the bubble, because there definitely were movies and shit like that for sure. I'm not saying that there weren't. But it was kind of a duality going on, because it's like we were yearning, but at the same time, there are people that still recognize that, yeah, things are kind of shitty. What the fuck is going on? For not only the song, but also what the fuck is going on over there? I'm pausing this really. You fucking hear that shit? The fuck is going on, dog? Yesterday, they were literally doing that shit off and on. Not that bad, but straight up. It's still going on. Well, one of their mini dogs are fucking outside, I guess. Sound like a firework? Well, that weren't no firework. It's just them. That's just straight up them. I guess let it be a documentation for Logan, I guess, to be like, yeah, they've been fucking like going off to where even my chat is saying it sounds like a fucking firework. Because it did. I paused it like when it really sounded like something going off. And then it quieted down really quick as soon as I did that. And then one of them slammed the sliding back door to let the dog out there. They're fucking nuts, dude. Anyway, where were we? Event Horizons movie I recommend from that time. The Fifth Element. Well, dude, I know The Fifth Element. But The Fifth Element also is kind of a little bit of a dystopian film, too. It's kind of like a sci-fi dystopia if you think about it. I mean, it's just like, I wouldn't necessarily call that an optimistic future. Sure, you get like triple titty bitches and crazy fucking flamboyant ass psychotic CEOs that and other shit, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, but like, it's like Cyberpunk. Yeah, the reality doesn't make a very good movie. Yeah, or like Blade Runner, or, you know, or like Videodrome, you know, and shit. Like, and I know some of those are 80s movies too and shit, but like, I mean, it's like a look to the future, but not all those movies are exactly painting an optimistic light. I guess The Fifth Element has a little bit more of a neutral light because it's not exactly like, you know, an utter dystopia, but it kind of is. I mean, like weapon dealers and shit, like the military industrial complex and arms manufacturers are very much still a fucking thing in The Fifth Element. Because that's far more likely these days. The Terminator future, I don't really think that's more likely versus, you know, any of these other sci-fi, you know, possibilities. And no, I wouldn't really prefer that either. And also, I mean, like, I really feel like we kind of underestimate the power of like Terminator-style drones and shit. You know, I actually saw this, a very short little mini documentary that's like 10 minutes long or something like that. I found it through a short, and then I saw the little longer form of it, where it was about like the U.S. military, specifically the Marines, wanted to test out, you know, some of the combat abilities of some of these like robo-dogs at least with them, you know, with gun mounts and shit, you know, and then, you know, and other things like that too, to test them to see if they can, you know, get, you know, like target on somebody who might be walking into them, like in a particular combat zone kind of situation, right? Well, they got like a squad of 5 of these Marines to figure out like, how do we go approach this thing and touch it, you know, without it detecting us? Because that was the goal. Like, if, you know, to see if they could do that, the test like its ability to, you know, pinpoint people and shit, you know, to go fucking, like take out a target or something like that. Well, guess what? Every single one of them were able to touch it. You want to know the most hilarious thing? One of them literally somersaulted, did backflip somersaults, literally all the way over there, and was able to touch the damn thing. Didn't get detected. Some guy literally found a gigantic box and just like crawled his way, like just literally just shuffled his way over to the damn thing and then just popped the box up when he was next to it and just touched it. Like, dude, there was like so many. Some guy literally just had a branch right in front of him and just walked up to it and then touched it. a fucking branch. Not even like a log or anything, just a branch. Like, just ripped a branch off of a tree and then just pointed right in front of it and then just, like, walked up to it and touched it. And the one thing they learned is that we're not even remotely close to having things like that being combat ready, because obviously they cannot predict the ability of humans being very unfucking predictable when it comes to how they can be detected. Because it can't, obviously, as it stands now, and maybe it's different, for certain tech at this point. But the thing is, that story I'm mentioning wasn't that long ago. That was like, I think last year or maybe earlier this year. That wasn't that long ago, because the military now is trying to see about just straight up incorporating them in some way, shape, or form, more so than the bots and shit that we already have. Where you kind of have to control them still. So they're already are pretty much in the testing phase of getting them into the military in different forms for now. But I'm sure the other elements of tech is getting there. But as it stands now for combat shit, I don't think we're there yet. Even for police purposes, those little weird little condom fucking security bots. Dude, those things get vandalized and spray painted on and toppled over all the time. And the fact that a lot of companies that were using them, and even some police, that were using them, just took them out. They literally are just a waste of money. This sucks. They're not doing anything for us. In fact, it's just more of a problem because we're actually having to fucking fix these damn things and clean them and all that of shit. And it's more of a nuisance than a problem. We're just not there yet. Now, I'm not saying that we aren't going to get there, but, as it stands now, things could change to the point where, this tech could be better, or it can continue to get worse as it stands right now. And I don't necessarily mean just, with regulatory factors or the efficiency of these things. I also mean, when it comes to the oppression, the authoritarianism about this, because there is an insane wave of authoritarianism that's been just happening, even on the side of liberals, too, by the way, when it comes to things like censorship, especially on the internet. Have y'all noticed this restricted mode on YouTube, by the way, now? Remember how I was talking about, this whole new AI thing, wanting your fucking ID and all the shit that YouTube is trying to incorporate? That's what the fuck it is. I have mine turned off. But just for curiosity's sake, go on YouTube, go in your general settings, on your account, on your settings and shit. Go to, general, go all the way to the bottom, and you'll find restricted mode. Make sure that's turned off. Because I'm not even joking, bro. They fucking have it incorporated, but at least for now, you can have it on or off. If you want to test it out, you can turn it off for a little bit and see how it works. I guarantee you, 90% of the shit that you probably like to watch is not going to be there, and you're going to be a bad adult. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. The rise of this fucking authoritarianistic shit is fucking diabolical. Not just from these fucking governments, but from these goddamn platforms and from these companies and third parties, from data mining, all of us, from just facial camera recognition shit fucking everywhere. It's bro, these fucking smartphones and shit. You think even when it's turned off, you don't think it's fucking recording and documenting your shit, in some way to a third party and all that shit? Because you bet your fucking ass cheeks it is. The only way it probably isn't if it's batteries dead beyond dead, and hasn't been turned on in a year. You know what I mean? Unless it's just dead, that shit's doing it. It's just and even if it isn't the gub doing it, it's a fucking company. It's a service provider. It's somebody doing it. And then they're selling it to the government. Phone's at 9%. Dude, I need to get a new charger and fucking maybe a power bank, because all my charger cords, aren't charging my shit no more. I'm borrowing my friend's charger, and it's charging now. But, yeah. You should probably charge it there, bud. It shouldn't be, that would be a massive scandal for Google. Wait, what? Far-right astroturf campus is trying to use the duopoly with Visa and MasterCard to ban adult content. Oh, yeah, and they've been doing that for a long time, and there have definitely been liberals who have, in solidarity have stood at that shit because think of the children, Pearl Clutch. I mean, Jim Merkley's one of those types. I mean, when it came to the COPPA Act, like when it was one of the co-sponsors and advocate of that shit, that was fucking disappointing. Like, it's like, hey, if like a majority of Republicans, if not all of them, and then like half of the Democrats support a thing, like literally 100% of the time, it's not going to be good for the American people. Period. Like, I'm not joking. Like, if and shit like that, including liberals and Democrats, they support shit like this. And it's fucked. It's like, what happened to like autonomy of personal freedom? Maybe you can like put a regulation or a bill in place where it's like, hey, make internet service providers themselves, like fucking maybe have a restriction, like when it comes to insert an ISP. Like if there's a family, like that has an ISP, then maybe that could be restricted unless, like there's at least, a code that, is specific that only like one of the parents know or some shit. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck. Like there could be a way to where there's not an invasion of privacy to where like you can restrict adult content online, for kids without having to make it like detrimental or like censorious for adults, and maybe a little fucking annoying little like sidestep for it, but depending on if you got children, or a legal guardian, to a kid or whatever, like what, it's just like, but at that point, you're a parent, like, you got responsibilities that aren't just being an adult. You're raising a child. Like at that point, it's just like, I don't really give a fuck if you want to bitch about having to take a sidestep because you want to jerk it once or twice. Like, I mean, you got a kid. If they want to go on the internet, you want to make sure they don't access that shit. So get a little code in, for your ISP, and then after that, there you go. And maybe it could be a one-time thing, being like, hey, for my specific shit, with my like name or password on top of the code, after that, I could just sign in with my password or something. There you go. Or like a PIN code after that I could set up after the main code that's sent. You know what I mean? So like it seems like that would be a lot more of an easier way to address this issue without having to like, fucking be fucking on someone like us and having to put our ID and our fucking information to these goddamn platforms and these websites where I don't want them knowing this shit. They don't need to know my social security number. They don't need to know my fucking government ID and shit. Fuck them. What, so they can sell it off to other fucking governmental, bodies or other third-party companies and shit? What, like they already have it already as it is anyway? Give them an extra little thing? Fuck that. Real talk, Scott doesn't need a constancy. Wait, what? Are you still on this? What? I hope researchers would be all. I hope they never plug in nukes. That's not gonna happen. You do realize we're using like 1960s floppy disk era fucking shit for our nukes, like for good reason. Not to mention there aren't scary either. There have been a fuck ton of data breaches in the last year. Dude, how often? Like, it seems like ever since like I've been like kind of privy to the news growing up, even like in middle and high school, it seems like every year there's always some major, massive data breach somewhere in some major company or in a government or mix of both or whatever the fuck. And yeah, you're right. It seems like it's more and more often this happens because of how fucking frequent you have these unsecure fucking servers just data mining people, for their fucking personal information so they can sell shit with their algorithms and shit to you and then sell data to the government if they really want it. It's fucked. Like, so, even if you aren't intending to, sometimes your straight personal information and your actual personal data gets breached and you don't fucking know about it because now you got some fucking random ass potential like Bangladeshi or Nigerian, whoever the fuck, or some crazy IT tech dumb fuck troll nerd teenager in Saudi Arabia or whatever the fuck. Now got your personal data is, seeing whatever fucking like finances they could use to tap you with, buying a bunch of weird luxurious shit or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, because that shit happens. It does happen. Luckily, usually like banks and like cards and stuff, like they usually tend to these days have like some fail safes to try to prevent that shit. But things slip through the cracks, and these things are still fundamentally a fucking problem. And governments could actually properly regulate this shit, but they don't want to because they benefit from this shit. Or else they would have stopped this a long time ago and put these regulations in place a while ago. This abusive review are nefarious if the slightest bit tech savvy to circumnavigate these measures. Well, it's absolutely. Honestly, if I really wanted to, I could hack into some shit and find my way into some stuff if I really wanted to. I just have to know the right person to, get me to know the right shit or this and that. You know what I mean? And also, half the time, I guarantee you a lot of these, like, breaches and shit like that are because somebody knows someone on the inside and either via bribes or they got a friend or they used to work there. Like, usually shit like that, not always, but sometimes does happen because of shit like that. And then they give it out to other hackers, and then they get into other shit too and stuff because maybe they don't have the right clearance, but they got enough to where they can get it to somebody else and break through some other firewalls and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it just takes knowing the right fucking people, basically. Even if you don't know like a certain step or two, know the right person, they will do the rest. You know what I mean? Like, contrary to media and other shit, like, and by the way, I will read your comment, Rose, don't worry. But like, on contrary to media and Hollywood and all this other shit, like, hacking isn't really as complex as people fucking think it is. Like, you have prank callers who will prank call scam callers who are trying to like scam grandmama out of like their grandson's like fucking college fund and shit. You know what I mean? And that dude will be able to like hack into like the cameras of the fucking facility that this like caller is like calling from to this prank caller, and would literally be like, hey, I could literally see you, you got somebody wearing this right next to you on your right, and they literally be like, what the fuck, and they will start freaking out too sometimes. And it's just, or like they'll like send them pictures of them because they found their family photos and all this shit, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just because it just takes a little bit of savviness to be able to fucking like do shit like that. It doesn't take like some mad scientist genius to know this shit. It just takes enough fucking like will of wanting to learn it and hone it down and do it, basically. Am I saying it's a good thing? No. But if you're doing it like that prank caller guy, like I'm talking about, I forgot his name. He's pretty popular on YouTube and shit because he like is kind of like a vigilante in a way, but doing some justice. If you're doing it in that way, then it's well, it's all good. Here, let me try to find Rose's comment here real quick. Where was it? Do you know what post-apocalyptic world will be? Absolute garbage living, Adventure Time, psychopaths, defies powers, giants, PB, and pretty much the dictator. Radius zombies, and I go on. Oh, dude, you're right. I feel bad for Jake because he has to live in such a world. So, the government not only does nothing about it, but also is trying to mandate more data breaches and unnecessary bureaucracy. Oh, exactly. Not to mention, I read about it. Nigerian Prince sent me about 200% return on investment. I'll soon be laughing. I'm sure. A lot of the breaches are corporate incompetence / cheapness. Well, because it's just that easy. For example, Intel was holding a worker information on completely insecure internal site that was accessed with just submission form manipulation. Wow. Oh, Colby, what's up? It's been a fat minute since you've been in here. How you doing? Yeah, these videos are really surveyed, and you guys are awesome. I saw one guy where they all watched out in the office a couple minutes because they think the cops coming. Oh my god, wait, what? No way. Holy shit. If you know the title of that video, maybe try to see if you can, like, I gotta find that. What the fuck? I have not seen that. But holy shit, dude, I gotta fucking see that shit. What the fuck? They think their cops are coming? Oh, they got an illegal thing going on if that's the case. Holy shit. Yeah, man, I'm not using social media anymore. Check shit out every few months, so. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. It's actually probably for the best, bro. The only time I'm really, like, active on social media is literally just, for really the most part, just YouTube. Just, like, checking out some videos, watching Deep Fat Fried or some other podcasts and stuff. Like, I'm not really super active with it that much. I try not to anyway because it's just so fucking like fucking ridiculous. I guess the only other form of it is this, but I mean, at least I can, make sure it's done on my terms here. You know what I mean? It's like I can at least make sure shit's done in a way where I can tolerate it. You've some of the scandals instead of fixing it. They're trying to crack down the whistleblower. Wow. Even the University of Oregon. Fucking. Oops. Just happens too often. My life in Memphis got much better, but I completely disconnect from anything but Spotify and Instagram. Just find flyers for local shows. YouTube every once in Blue Moon too. Yeah, Oh yeah, I guess Instagram literally just for local shows too. Because of Portland, like there are so many fucking bands, local shit. It's it's especially if you want to keep it tuned, especially with like punk, ska, metal, especially with local bands. Like you kind of can't afford not to at least peruse Instagram just for that shit. So. I need to get back on it though, just so I can at least kind of see what's kind of popping right now. Because I know in the fall usually there's a lot of shows that are coming up. I know Avatar with Alien Weaponry and Spirit World are going to be playing on November 11th at the Roseland, and oh my god, now that I'm getting them some money again and all sort of shit, I'm thinking like I kind of want to go to that show. Like I've only been to like maximum like maybe 5-6 shows all year, including System of a Down and Avenged Sevenfold in Chicago, and then like 3 local shows, and then like 1 other show. So that's about at least 5. Like I have barely been to shows this year. Like last year and the year before that, I was going to shows galore, and a lot of them not even that expensive either. Because a lot of them are local bands and local shows and shit. But like now, it's just like because especially now having to be like job hunting and shit. I just kind of do it. And even then, especially because a lot of them are local shows, it's not that hard to just kind of go into them. And even then, it's just like fuck. I either just don't have time for it, and don't have the ability to go to them, or I don't have anyone, to tag along with me / possibly spot, but just shit like that, and it's like, it's just not worth it. But now it is, at least not right now, but in the fall, in the winter, once some other shows start coming up and stuff, like around November, I think it'll be a good time. Hence November 11th, probably be a good show to at least kind of start trying to at least go to a few of them to kind of at least have, I don't know, a dozen shows before the end of the year. And they all are going to be local ones too, for the most part. And the only one that I'm thinking that's going to be like an official big show would be that one, because that one's going to cost a little something, because it's the Roseland. But with Spirit Rolled and Alien Weaponry, I don't know really Avatar that much, but they're the main headliner. I know they're from Sweden. I have listened to some of the stuff. Don't really know them though, so I can't really form an opinion. But Alien Weaponry and Spirit Rolled, oh my fucking god. I've always wanted to see Alien Weaponry, and I've seen Spirit World once. They're fucking amazing. So I'm like, I kind of, now that I'm like able to, I'm like, I gotta kind of go. I kind of have to a little bit. I only know Avatar, but I'm not too into Avatar. Yeah, I've never gotten really. I just never really gave him much of a chance. I've heard their stuff, like, but I've just never like sat down and like listened to their shit. Like, but Alien Weaponry and Spirit Rolled, oh holy shit! I think I don't know what like type of metal you're into, but with Alien Weaponry, I found out via the YouTube algorithm like years ago. With one of their songs. I bet if you just looked them up, it will probably be literally the first result. It's literally just like some Maori guy doing that shit. Like, because they're a New Zealand band, and the band members are Maori, so they do a lot of like folk kind of like metal style shit in Maori and stuff like that, like kind of Maori style like metal, and it's just like, oh my fucking god. Oh. it's just like, oh yeah. And it's really heavy as fuck. Like, their riffs are just sick, dude. In Spirit World, they're from Las Vegas. And, like, in Las... And, they're kind of like this, like, kind of thrashing cowboy metal, if that makes sense. Like, they have a very kind of cowboy-esque theme, you know, to their entire, like, you know, band. Kind of like Wayfarer or something like that, you know? Like, so they're similar in that way, but, you know, in a very Western theme in their music, which I fucking love. And it is, like, heavy thrashing, like, oh, you know, like really heavy, like thick fucking riffs too. Like almost every song has just some thick fucking riffs where you just can't help but just like fucking just gotta bang your head, dude. Like most of their songs are pretty much just like I can't help but just bang, bro. A really good song. There's a few good songs. There's Ulcer. Then there's Waiting for the Reaper. Then there's Oblivion, which those two songs are from the new album they just released. And then there's Pagan Rhythms. Like, dude, they got some fucking bangers, dude. Certainly worth, especially if you love that heavy shit, like, you know, heavy thrashing, kind of like, you know, metal stuff. Like, you'll definitely love it. Oh, and it's groovy too a little bit. It's got some groove. And they do a lot of, like, you know, that, like, horse neighing kind of like, you know, with the guitar and shit. They love doing that. Channel 5 News is coming to town. When and what time so I can fucking see. Dude, if I could get myself on Channel 5, bro, I wanted to do that since they were in Portland back in 2020. Holy shit. Oh my god. When and what time? Because I might deadass try to, like, pop in and be like, I bet it's for the ice shit. If it is, dude, I gotta go. Who's Little Darky, the pedo? No, there's an artist named Little Darky. He's actually really good. He's a really good fucking artist and shit. Friday, November 21st at the Roseland. Oh, wait, so he's doing like a comedy thing or something? It's not the Roseland? No shit. Channel 5 came to Dead City Punk show I was at a few years ago. I stay away from the camera though. Oh, dude, I would honestly be in there for the camera, bro. If you go on the news promote. Oh, yeah, I would promote your shit. I'd promote my shit. I mean, dude, I'll try to promote shit, bro. I'd be there to do that, but also say my shit and just try to be cool. I will admit, I probably want at least like 2 of these, and I might pound one and then just sit there sipping on another while I'm just talking with them. Not even gonna lie. Not interested in being wasted on video means people will see. I guess I have a different opinion about it, but I've done this for so long and kind of see, you know, like a genuine possible opportunity to make a little side chat and stuff, you know, and I've already been a guest on a couple shows and with, you know, the Bearded Ramblings podcast with Lev, you know, and all that. So, I mean, I've kind of, you know, like, I kind of see the value in it, especially with, like, how long I've been doing this and been kind of, like, somewhat in different communities. And, you know, my name has been around at least somewhat enough to where I can be guests and shit. So it's like, you know, I mean, if I can make a little side chat and get a little something with it, then I'm not expecting to, like, live off of it, but I can, you know, hey, a little exercise, a little chat, I ain't gonna fucking complain about it. And if I can find a chance to do it, fuck it, right? Why not? But that's just me, at least, you know, because I'm also, like, an artist, too, because once I can get, like, some actual genuine, like, proper income, then I can, like, invest into more of, like, my music interests and other, like, creative interests on top of that. So, and also, like, an actual official fucking, like, setup, like, a studio, like, thing, you know, so I don't necessarily have to do this shit all the time, you know what I mean? I'd still do these types of streams, but I definitely wanted to, like, switch up for sure. I've been meaning to for a while, but then my last work fucked me over and all that shit. And then, because of the economy, because Trump, fuck you very much, it's been very difficult to find another one up until, like, 3 weeks ago. And then I go to Chicago while he's threatening on invading that fucking city. And then by the time I leave, with my homies, he fucking does it. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm glad that, the Chicago trip is a new chapter, but holy fuck, now I feel like with how that went, with what's going on now, I'm just like, alright, is this new chapter going to be like close call, like, chapter and shit? It's like, oh no. Actually, I gotta get to a session on my recording studio right now. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, yeah, fuck yeah, man. Yeah, my friend's actually doing band practice too right now. That's why I'm kind of like getting a little bit of a musical mood, being like, man, I gotta get back in my shit. So fuck yeah, man. Hopefully come back around soon. So, 24. I'm gonna have to see if I can go to that. I definitely want to try to go to that. I wouldn't know what to expect, but I imagine if it's $300, it can't be that expensive, even if it is like, the Roseland. I'll have to check it out. If you're ever in the LA area, hit me up. I'll record some shit for you for free. I mean, I'm not like the biggest fan of LA. I've been there once, but I mean, if I ever find my way over there, I'm sure I'm gonna have some reason or something, or even for the fuck of it, maybe I just go down there. If I had like a van or something, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna drive down the Pacific and take like the summer off from work and shit with like $3K or something saved, and just like kind of just go up and down the fucking coast, for like a month or two. I mean, because that would actually be kind of legit. I've always wanted to do that, and obviously LA would be one of the stops. And considering how huge it is, I mean, I definitely would be there for a while. A good chunk of that trip would probably just be hanging out there. On top of San Fran, maybe Sacramento, San Diego. Definitely all hitting the big cities. I will say though, after Chicago, every fucking major city in this country's got a lot to work for to like take the #1 spot for best city in the union so far. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of LA sucks, but there's some dope spots all around SoCal area. Yeah. The problem is just all that sprawl. Like you literally just need a car to get around. Like, cause the last time I was there was like a family trip, for Christmas, and like what I remembered the most out of it was just driving, and what felt like being in like I don't know what would be like the equivalent. Like for Portland, I guess for me the equivalent would be like Gresham or like Tigard or Beaverton, like the outskirts, but like Portland basically, right? Like, so it's, the Portland Metro. Like, the Metro of LA was fucking endless. Even though we weren't necessarily in LA anymore, it's just like, Jesus Christ. It's like, my God. It's like fucking ridiculous. That much I remember. And I was like, this sucks. I'm attempting LA with transit. They finally have a train to the airport now, so hopefully it isn't too shitty. Oh, well, when I went there, they didn't. So, and I was with family, and it was, and they were like, all right, you know what, you got us out of this airport. We want to test you. Because I was just, because I wasn't I will say, it's been like, maybe, 11-ish years since I last was in LA. I mean, I will admit. So it's been a while, a little over a decade. But, like, I mean, from what I remember, especially, I was just like, the airport itself was fucking convoluted a little bit and kind of annoying to deal with. Especially when trying to leave LA. Oh my God, that was a nightmare. And then, fucking, like, just the travel and shit. Like, oh my God. Like, it's just this sprawl, man. And the thing is, I thought, like, fucking Phoenix was bad. I mean, I guess it's bad. But, man, dude. I don't know. Good luck with our public transit in LA, Rip City. You're screwed. Dude, and Rip City is a major, like, transit guy. I am too. But no one like him. The train is new. They opened it this year. Is it really that bad? The system looks decent on the map, so I find out soon. I'm going in October. Oh shit, man. Well, let me know. Let me know how LA is. Like how would it like because if you can, I'm not gonna lie. If you can, there's one spot I've always wanted to be kind of curious to check out. LA has like double the population density. It does. I mean, I'm talking about sprawl. I mean, in my experience in Phoenix and in LA, well, the thing is, like, our trip was, we were staying in Anaheim, but, like, we were all just straight up, like, fucking, just, most of our trip was really just getting in and out of LA for our shit. Like, the only reason why I stayed in Anaheim was because, like, a lot of the parks and places we want to check out, like, Disneyland over there or Legoland or whatever the fuck, like, it was all closer there. But, like, the other shit we were doing, which is, like, every other day we were there for the fucking week we were there, was going to fucking LA. And I was just like, that shit was such a nightmare. And we weren't even, like, in actual, like, LA proper, we were in the metro. So we weren't even really in LA. Like, just fucking ridiculous. It was just terrible. I mean, maybe if I was, like, in, like, actual downtown LA, maybe near the beach, a little bit, and able to, like, go there. What spot? Well, actually, I think the beach area. I want to really see how bad the beaches are in LA. Because if they're actually good, like, and there's not a lot of people, and the trash isn't really bad, stuff like that, then I'd be like, all right, I'll check out the beach. I know, like, San Obispo or, like, Santa Monica and shit. Like, I know those are probably the better areas to go to, but downtown LA isn't near the beach. I know it ain't. That's what makes LA also more shitty, because it's, like, near the coast, but it's also not. It's fucked. It's like, what is this fucking city, bro? Beaches aren't bad. I've been to LA. There are a fuck ton of people, though. I hate that. I don't like a fuck ton of people. See, we're spoiled in Oregon, bro. Because, like, if you want people, on your beaches, you can go to Lincoln City. Maybe Seaside. And even then, it's not even bad there. Maybe fucking tourist season, like 4th of July at, like, Rockaway or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, but beyond that, the beaches are like your oyster. No pun intended. Like, there's, like, hardly anyone. Maybe, like, people walking their dog or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's barely anyone really out. Even during the summer times, like, even with tourists and shit, there's not really that many people around. So, it's like, I've been spoiled, bro. Like, when I'm on the beach, I kind of like having just, like, my radius of just, this is my spot. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, this is our spot. This 20, 30-foot radius is just my zone. I don't need your zone, but it's cool that I see that you got your zone, because, hey, you're vibing, we're vibing. That's totally fine. But, like, when your zone is, like, 10 feet away and I'm trying to zone out, and it's like, aye. Like, dude, when we were in Lake Michigan trying to find, like, a spot to swim, not even where we were trying to dive, but just swimming initially, dude, the fact that there were so many fucking people, that's why I was kind of a little like, why are we stopping here when we first went there, when we were surrounded by, like, families and shit, knowing what we want to do? I'm just like, oh, hell no. I was literally like, fuck this, fuck that, There's, like, literally, like, 3 and 4-year-olds here. We're adults. I want to do adult shit, being, young dudes hanging out at the beach. I can't do this here. Like, I was just like, aye. Like, no, this is terrible. Where'd you even find that in Oregon? During peak summer, Selwood and Sauvie Island are packed. Selwood and Sauvie? Well, I'm talking about the beach. Yeah, I was all confused by that. I guess I'm just way more used to crowded beaches. Well, no, like, Selwood and Sauvie Island, those aren't, like, beaches. Like, what I mean by, like, the coast. I'm talking about, like, the coast. Like the ocean? Yeah. That's what I was talking about. I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm spoiled with that. Because, I mean, because of the ocean coastal, like, beaches versus, like, somewhere like LA and stuff. Or I guess even with the lake in Michigan and shit. Well, like, using salt water. Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, but my point being stands. I thought you were talking about the city beaches. Well, those are like for us. Those are rivers, like, and yeah, and there's a big lake with Chicago. So I don't know. Like, I mean, the city shit here, like with the beaches here, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I kind of expect that, but like, I mean, just in general, like when it comes to a coastal beach, when you have like literally endless mile of just beach, well, until there's like cliffs and shit, and then it's just like, I mean, hike somewhere a little bit. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like, why must we all condensed in this area? You know what I mean? It's like, maybe there needs to be more like, rental services or something to be like, all right, we got our like quad thing where we can just like ride our bike out in the fucking, or ride our bike quad thing out in this little spot we can set up shit or something. I don't know. Maybe it needs to be some more stuff like that. Not too bad, but I'm lucky enough to be able to walk to the beach from my pad and just go in the middle of the night after they close and just try to avoid the pigs patrolling all night. Dude, I bet that's actually pretty legit, though. I bet that's awesome. That's base. That is very fucking base. But I don't have to worry about the pigs in my late night dives on the Willamette. Well, yeah, because he ain't gonna give a fuck. There's like homeless people literally like sleeping by the fucking Willamette. Having little campfires, keeping warm, being by the water and shit. Hey, honestly, if I was gonna be homeless, or anything, I'd be by the Willamette. At least it'd be kind of peaceful, you know what I mean? Peace, I guess. Yeah, you were meaning to head out a while ago. But yeah, you have a good one, bro. I'm gonna try late night diving in Chicago if it was closer to the hotel and they were more chill. I know, bro. Honestly, when me and Logan were walking around Chicago late night, like, dude, frankly, downtown Chicago is chill as fuck. Not like Portland, dude. I'm not even joking. Not kidding. Me and Logan were like, we were smoking a J, openly having like a beer, not giving a fuck, right in front of that like place where we had the Chicago dogs and shit for the first time. We were like right in front of that place, just doing that, and no one gave a fuck. There was like maybe a homeless person that maybe asked for us change once, maybe if I remember, but I don't. I think that was a different time. That's why in Portland late night, because you get an occasional homeless person annoying you and shit with like asking for change or whatever the fuck. Like, dude, Chicago literally had like nothing going on really, like no one around, like not even cars driving around. Like, just feels generally actually pretty quiet, and it was just legit chill. I mean, Portland certainly has that too, man. Don't get me wrong, but like, we were walking around the few blocks, like around the hotel, and kind of went deep for a minute, and we're like, shit, it's actually kind of like legit, quiet, chill. Oh my god, no. Okay, so the only time there was a problem was when we were at the McDonald's that has like the fucking like Japanese, Korean, Iranian, like all the international order shit, like. We went there, but they only had the breakfast menu, and it was literally only the domestic breakfast menu. It was so lame. That upset me. I mean, because I wanted to see if they had some of the good shit, bro, from like other parts of the world, because there was some shit. I was like, I actually want to try this, because they have an international menu. Like, I was like dead ass so badly wanting to try it, bro. And this just wasn't the right time, I guess, unfortunately. But while we were trying to order, some dude came up and be like, hey, y'all, can you order me a Big Mac or like blah blah? And we're sitting here like, dog, like my homie's paying for me after we just ordered, like, and this is the second time we went in there too. Like, we're like, because we were still hungry, and I was like, at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm like down to a little bit left now from, the birthday funds, and then there was like a little bit more that showed up to like, the last fucking day we were there. I was like, oh, okay. But, anyway, but like, I was just like, we were both like, no. And even if we did, no. Even if we did have money, I'd be like, no. And they're not even selling them right now. It's literally just a breakfast menu. Like, what the fuck? And what's honestly kind of annoying is that happens in Portland too. But at least in my experience, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just how I present myself. I don't fucking know, but oh my god, bro, it is constant. Not maybe constant, but it's frequent enough to where it does generally annoy the shit out of me. But the only time that ever happened when we were in Chicago was that one time, and then there was like that one guy that was sitting on the corner, like while we were walking to go somewhere, or maybe try to get on the bus, be like, "Yo, got change?" And me and Logan were like, "Nah, dude, you didn't give a fuck. You just kept walking, not giving a shit." But me and him were like, "Nah, we don't got money. We just have our card," and just kept moving. And then he was like, "Man, you motherfuckers." Yeah, I get asked for money all the time. Yeah, but at least in Chicago, at least as far as I know, those are the only two times it ever happened. Beyond that, like in Portland, it's frequent. But I had it happen earlier the damn day. I was at the bus stop earlier, and then some chick was like, "Excuse me, sir, do you have like $1 or like some quarters or something?" I'm like, "No, I just have my card. Sorry." And then I just put my headphone back in and then just went on my business. Then she's like, "Well, hold on. Excuse me, sir. Hold on. One more time. Hold on." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Is it a food card?" And I'm like, "Why? Do you want that?" She's like, "Well, if you got it." I'm like, "Even if I did, no, I'm not giving it to you. And it's my card." Like, excuse me? Like, I mean, now I'm getting annoyed with you. Like, can you stop? And she's like, "Oh, sorry." And then she kind of started murmuring. I'm like, fucking what? I just literally went like, what? Because the other dude that was sitting next to her looked up, and I, kind of with sunglasses on, but I could kind of tell, being like, huh? He kind of had this weird like shrug, kind of like, what? And I was like, what the fuck? And I just put my earbud back in, like, okay, I'm just gonna listen to my podcast now. That's live. Sir, can you give me a car? I know, bro. I know, dude. Like, why am I just gonna give you my fucking food card if I even had one? I mean, I guess I technically do, but it's just not active. It's not activated or anything. So it's just like, I mean, but I guess I could have just given her an inactive card. Like, here you go. Good luck with that. I don't know. Like, I mean, what the fuck, bro? Like, just the audacity, the caucasity. You know what? This is a little fucked up. I'm not even gonna lie, but I don't know. She dead ass had half a mustache, not a full one, a half of one, and she wasn't trans. I know that for a fact. She definitely was just a woman for sure, but she just had like fuzz, almost like this shit. I'm not even fucking joking, but it was only on one half of her face. The other half is just not there. I'm just like, what unfortunate genetic roll of the dice happened to you? Because she even had a little fucking scruff on her neck, too. It was like on the opposite end down over here, and I'm like, what the fuck? Dual personality? I don't know, bro. Dude, like, I will say, man, even with the homeless in fucking Chicago, I didn't see some wild shit like that. Maybe we're just in the good part of downtown Chicago for the most part. And some of the other spots that we checked out, like Logan Square and stuff, like even that was relatively chill. I mean, but I don't know. Bro, like, not nowhere near as bad, bro. That's what I say, man. Like, I know you said earlier, like, you like Minneapolis a lot more, but I'd say Minneapolis is still, like, for sure, top 3. Portland's there because of personal bias, but out of, like, the top 5, it'd be, like, Chicago, Portland, and Minneapolis. Not that, yeah, and then it'll be, like, I don't know, honestly. The other two, I can't really necessarily speak for because I've never really been there. It's more about just like the historical, cultural relevance of these places. Like, in one of them, frankly, I know you won't like it, Nashville, because of the music shit and stuff like that, a little bit. And then, what's the other fucking city? What the fuck? Because I kind of want to say New York, but I don't know, man. I feel like that would just be a little too much for me personally, so I don't know. But it would either be maybe that, maybe Burlington. Oh my god, Vito is dreaming so hard. He's growling in bark. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, fuck Nashville. They're gonna give you huge handouts to Musk. Ah, well, that sucks. Well, like I said, it's more about like the cultural relevance of the place. You know what I mean? Like musically, especially. Like it's like a pretty, major, like music hub of America. You know what I mean? Like historically, So I mean, it's one of those places where I would like check out the parts of Nashville that are more like the music bars, the music areas, like the places where musicians are. Where you want to go there. So like when I go there, I obviously will maybe like hang out like at some random bar that I think is kind of cool. Then ask locals about that type of shit, and then see what's up from mostly music genre. Dude, Nashville's more than just that, bro. Historically, about Nashville, you got the wrong idea about Nashville. Yes, there is a lot of elements about country about Nashville, but also you got that old school like rockabilly with people, and that old rock roll shit with like Elvis. You got like blues, outlaw shit. You got a lot of different shit there that isn't just country shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's more to it there. Arguably, I feel like there's other places like in Austin or Houston, Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is more of like the country hub of like music and shit. More so than Nashville. Nashville's a little bit more of a blend of different shit. It's more of just like the Americana like music shit, which country is part of that, but there's other stuff there too. Like it's a little bit more of that broader Americana hub, while Houston's a little bit more of just kind of the country hub. Like, I mean, like I wouldn't really go to Houston for really anything else but that, and even then, I'm like, ugh. Like I'd rather go there for maybe some of the more underground shit that's going to be there because I know there's going to be. Like every major city's got like an underground scene. Like one thing I noticed, at least even with Chicago and Minneapolis and these cities I've been to so far, like I've noticed that every now and then, depending on which neighborhoods or which areas we're at, like there'll be like in Portland, like little flyers for like little local shows or these local bands and this and that. Some of them punk, some of them metal, maybe R&B, country, this and that. And, depending where we're at, but get a little random little hodgepodge of shit like that. I'm like, oh, there's some underground scene shit going on here. Nice. We're picking where I travel. It's a lot of time, buddy, logistics. Understandable. I mean, obviously, like, I can't, get the chance to visit maybe every fucking place. I mean, I would like to. I mean, because even outside the United States, there's a lot of fucking places that I would love to travel to. And some of them, honestly, dead ass, or maybe even you or anyone else, or even in the broad friend group, be unorthodox. Like I dead ass would like visit fucking Turkmenistan or some shit. You know what I mean? Like I'll go visit like some random like small country just to be like, there's gonna be cool shit there. There'll be some dope stuff. A lot of it maybe some really outdoorsy shit. Check out some of the local culture and stuff. Like I mean, there'll be some cool shit. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't mind, like, checking out Ulaanbaatar, like, Mongolia, or fucking, like, Bombay or Mumbai and fucking, like, India or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't mind checking out these fucking places one day. Or, like, I mean, and despite the government now, even Afghanistan, like, I wouldn't mind, traveling, because as far as I know, especially with... Weirdly enough, the Taliban really wants terrorists. And, like, from what I understand, it's exceptionally very fucking fun for tourists to be out there. Because you can literally, like, if you go to, like, some of the different, villages and stuff and all that shit, like, they'll just be like, they'll give you tea, they'll offer you food, and they'll be like, you want an AK? You want to go shoot out here? You want a PKM? You wanted one of the American guns that were left here from when the Americans left? They'll just give you shit like that. Because they're very hospitable people, honestly. Like, take the Taliban and, like, the Islamism and our And so if you're saying just really the Western world fucking with them, and all that shit, like they're generally a very hospitable people. Like Afghanis are a very hospitable, like very friendly people and have no problem sharing their culture and sharing their, shit with, people. Like fuck that. I see, I told you it would be unorthodox and shit, but still, like I'm kind of like, a person that really wants to be like worldly in a sense. I want to check these places out. I mean, like I said, despite, and even then, that is really making me not want to go there. But, like, and I wouldn't really necessarily as it stands right now. But, like, shit, like, I still would, I if I had a means to and I could, it'd be an option, to maybe have as a trip, for like a summer or something, Because I definitely but those are just like random places that are like, more of the unorthodox spots like I'm talking about. But like but what about Mongolia, bro? Like you want to visit Mongolia? Like what's the problem with Mongolia? Home of the Mongols, like got yurts, you go horseback riding and all sort of shit. Like come on now, like I mean, what's wrong with Mongolia? That'd be dope as shit, bro. That'd be awesome. Checking out the steppes, learning how, like a little bit about the Tengriest, like Tao, like beliefs of God, and like hang out like on a sides of the steps, and just like hear like a musician just going, just playing his horse fiddle. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those type of things. I'm just like shit, bro. I mean, I would love to, visit that place. I don't even interest this country. It just doesn't really interest me. Well, if we went in the summer. I mean, in the summertime, plus it'd be hell expensive. From my understand, like getting there, yeah, but actually being there is relatively cheap because even as it stands now with the U.S. dollar, like apparently it's still relatively cheap to be there. Like that's why some tourists will kind of go out of the way with the expenses of going there to visit there because actually being there is relatively cheap. Like because the value of our dollar, versus theirs is just such a big difference. Even despite our current currency right now going on, like it's still relatively cheap. So honestly, it's from what I understand, like being there is actually relatively cheap. Getting there is what's expensive. So it's just one of those things, Plus, it'd be cold shit out there. Probably require guided tours. Maybe if you don't have a set game plan in mind. But you know what? If I were to go there, I wouldn't want that. I want to just let the world be my oyster at that point. I'm just gonna go check it out and do my own shit. Be like, oh, I can rent out a horse and check out the countryside. Fuck it, let me do that. Just go out there in the countryside and check things out, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I would just kind of literally do it, like, because I will admit, like, when it comes to maybe the idea of maybe traveling to somewhere like that, for me, it would be like quick research. What's the most cheap, efficient way, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then, let's, like, look at the average exchange rate and the average prices, give or take about what's there, all that shit, right? Like, I'll do that. But if I think, you know what? Feasible. I'd just say fucking like be in the spur of the moment, Just why not? Because why not? Like let's check out a new place in the world. Like let's see what's out there, Even if it's a little obscure place, or something. But I'd say the same thing for something like Berlin, or something like Barcelona, or all that shit. Like I do that for anywhere. You know what I mean? Because there's just so many places around the world where I just love to, just experience and see. Communication would be a major issue if I struggled in Spain, Portugal, then Mongolia would be significantly more difficult. It's the same thing for me when I was in Iceland. Like, I could text, but having phone calls was really fucking bad. Like, you could only really text, and even then, you had to be, like, in a village or a city. So, Yeah, it was pretty bad there too. Like that's going to ultimately always going to be a struggle. Bro, band practice went really well. Unironically, might have entered into all transparent where we all have to wear dresses, mandatory performance. Like what? I'll be naked. Oh wait, you're all cross dressing. Oh, that's actually dope. Nah, dude. Oh wait, hold up. That's actually kind of cool. Nah, you can literally be like wear like an all black like fucking butch style like kind of thing going on. I don't know, dude. Actually, hold that might be fucking legit. I'm not even joking. Dude, rock it, bro. I'm not even joking. You could probably rock that shit. Yeah, dude, you'll be the metal version of the Latter-day Skanks. Dude, exactly. Because they do that. They kind of have a little cross-dress drag thing going on. If for performances and shit, they want to do that, like that's dope. It's like kind of, saying, hey, we got like, our performance personas and the characters, for the band, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, that's all that's really it's about. It's performance. I mean, it's an act and performance on top of the music. I love that shit. That's dope. That's cool, dude. Dude, you should rock. I actually, you know what? Have you ever heard of that show, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? Has anyone heard of that show? It was kind of a thing back on like TLC or whatever the fuck. It's a reality TV garbage shit, to be frank. But dude, I'm not gonna lie, like I might have to do a little bit like hold up. There's like I think I can think some ideas because that actually is badass. That's cool. Like legit. Because what do you mean naked? You don't have to do that. You could. I think there's some cool shit that we can, that I could think of, and maybe they could too. I don't know. I think some ideas here. Because that's badass. I mean, honestly, I like shit like that. Obviously, that's just me, but hey, I mean, be comfortable with it, like with the performance. It's like a performance style and shit, especially like because you could be like the crazy like dominant like bass like I'm gonna fuck y'all up and shit. You know what I mean? Read my message. The last one, yeah. I was just talking about it. Unless there's something else, because like YouTube is retarded. But I read your messages. Unless YouTube is retarded, but yeah, I read those. We're just literally talking about it with like the whole like idea about doing the drag thing or something. Like for performance, wise, you wear some drag and shit. Like, dude, I mean, I can see that being badass as fuck. Like, because Rip City was saying that, dude, you basically would be like the metal version of the Latter-day Skanks. Being a trans man or being the naked guy. You want to be the naked guy? Why be naked? You don't need to. Why? What are they saying? That's your shtick? You're just sort of the naked guy? What are you gonna wear? Like a similar skin, like what? Like a muscle body, like Zentai suit thing, where you look like a muscle bod or what? Like what do you wear it? Like, I mean, because dude, if they want, I don't know. Like you gotta explain a little in detail about like what they're asking specifically. Because if they're doing like, hey, we all like are cross dressing and doing some drag, for the performance. Then they're doing like a performance persona kind of thing and shit. And they're like, we'll work with that. But dude, if you're performing at like shows and shit, you just straight can't be naked. I don't know, dude. You might want to, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think there is some possibilities, some ideas. If you're legit willing to hear it out with my some ideas, because you don't obviously have to wear a dress, but maybe you can do like a butch feminine, like I'm basically like the butch daddy girl, but like I'm the girl who's about to be your dommy mommy bitch, fuck, something like what I'm saying. Like there could be something going on where I think it could stand out, especially as the basis. Like I think it would work. I think there's some possibilities in minds where you don't necessarily have to go like full dress mode, but put a little the glam / like kind of drag shit up and whatever I mean. But I think it could work. Just because other people are identified. Well, I get you on that one. Hence why I think, there's maybe a mixture of the two where we can, oh, wait, what if you're like the base daddy? Like everyone else is in cross-dress drag, but you're the base daddy with a little glam flare. Oh shit, base daddy with a little glam flare. Dude, I think that's it. Because you can have like a little leather vest, maybe like, invest in some leather pants or some badass like fucking boots and shit, and just be fucking base daddy fucking dude, that might be it. That might be a good concept. That might be see, a little brainstorm a little bit here. I'm liking this right now. It can still be fun part, but I don't have to be just and be trans. Well, hence why maybe it could be base daddy, while everyone else, is doing the drag cross dressing. Obviously, the other one ain't, but still, so fine. But anyway, I was going. Well, because I think the idea is the whole element of the performance, and putting on personas for the band, like. Every member, like the idea of like every member is just kind of like, has a persona, so to speak. Like old Greg on maybe. Well, old Greg had a dress too. He had like a little skirt tutu thing he was wearing. So that would be, but being, base daddy ain't necessarily cross dressing. You would just be wearing like, leather vest, maybe like a little leather like biker cap. And then, something like that, you know what I mean? Like some shit like that where you're like, I'm base daddy. And then we got our, the rest, however they want to do their shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if the bass being like, here's my meat stick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, there's things that I think could work with this. Where you don't necessarily have to do it, but it could still work with the broader theme. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking we got like low down bass daddy over here, and then just maybe low gay porno mustache Logan. Yeah, dude, for real. Oh my god, with the aviators that are like hyper reflective and yes. Now we're having some wavelengths together. Oh my god, yes. Oh my god. That beard is immaculate, but holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, you would have a diabolical fucking 70s porno fucking stash, bro. Oh my god. Holy shit, that's it. Oh my god. I'm fucking dead serious, bro. Oh my god. Holy shit, that might be it, bro. I'm trucker trans base daddy now. Dude, your persona could be like, I'm actually a trans man, trucker daddy. But obviously you're not, but that could be the persona. Thus, the character, on performance, but after, the show, obviously, you could be like, that's just a character thing, it's tongue-in-cheek, blah, blah, blah. So, I think you could work that in. Dude, I think that's it. Because at the end of the day, you're all performing as characters at this point, right? Like, if that's the idea, maybe that's the character. Like, dude, that might be it, bro. Like, oh shit. Dude, I'm loving it so far. I love it. I'm digging this shit. I think there's a good concept going on with this band so far. Just me and August, everyone else is trans. Well, yeah, I'm sure they're not like, they're like acting in a sense like their performance, presence is going to be like a persona. You know what I mean? Kind of like how like Laura Hammer, or like even to a lesser extent, maybe like Sabaton, even Spirit World are kind of like, where they kind of have like a persona on stage, but it's not like literally them, but it is. But obviously, just say I'm a male trans daddy, base that exactly. You're just a trans man bass daddy. You're literally just trans bass daddy, dude. That's a name. That's your nickname, dude. And then we got low down trans bass daddy Anderson over here, and you just throw out a fucking crazy fucking bass solo, and you're just like bam 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 bam, you know, for that last song for the performance, dude. I mean, I mean that would actually be kind of legit. I think there's some concepts here where I'm digging it. Honestly, I kind of like it. It's pretty legit. I would try to at least, see, like what, like how they want to kind of go further with that concept, and maybe pitch this idea too. Because I'm not even gonna lie, I think you can still like do their idea, but not necessarily obviously go like drag status with it or cross dress with it, but still kind of be in that, you know what I mean? So like, but because I think that would work. Who knows? Maybe there could be like little subtle like maybe there's like a few songs here and there where there's like kind of a little story between maybe like August and the other two versus like you or something like that. Every now and then there's like a little song where just or maybe like an album or two, maybe potentially where it's like a little mini story in between just other songs that are being played. Maybe, but probably not, but that would be kind of interesting too. Like because I know there are some bands that even if that's not like predominantly a major thing or like a major theme, like the Latter Day Saints, like they don't really have like a story or anything like that in their music, but there's a little bit here and there of some songs, but most of it is just like your stereotypical like usual like kind of thrashy kind of punk kind of shit. You know what I mean? So it's like they got a little bit, and it's definitely kind of implied. A lot of some of the music, but there isn't like enough story outside of like maybe like a couple songs here and there. But it's not like a major arc necessarily. It's just more about like, hey, this is one of the characters or something. Boom, they do this shit and it's badass because fuck these puritanical Christian fucks. You know what I mean? So it all just kind of points, into like a broader thing. It's like, a song is just the story itself, and it's that it. But anyway, fucking badass that, fucking rehearsals went really well. Got some like concepts and shit going on with the band. Like, I love that. That's fucking dope, dude. I'm charged right now. Not too bad, but dude, look at Vito right now. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with him right now? He's just dead. He's just out, bro. He's just gone. Jazzy over here just like, sup? I stretch. Oh, you little beans. Little stretch beans. Oh, did you wake up? You goofy boy? You stretchy bean? Stretchy goofball. That's just ridiculous. But I'll go to the bathroom real quick and come right back. What the fuck are you doing, bro? I've seen you in some goofy positions, but this one is kind of on the top 10 of the list. Vito. Your tail's so aggressive. Vito. Come here, buddy. Beat the potato. Beat the potato. Why do you have this on? And your fucking tail's knocking an empty can over, of course. Yeah. Good boy. Sweet little big floof. Look at me that look. Goofy boy. I think I saw a notification of that. I should look at. I thought I saw a text not that long ago. Oh, guess not. Thought I did. I'm kind of like in the back of my mind, keeping an eye out for like a potential like business text for like work, because I know at least the GM said that he would like hit me up later to see if he has some shizzle, but hasn't yet. What time is it right now? Almost 8, so I probably still will later, but it's just like. Why do I feel like that's going to be like tomorrow or like the day later or some shit? It's like, oh god. I just know that once things get a little streamlined, it ain't going to be as big of a deal, but it's like fucking hell. It's kind of getting annoying. I'm just kind of glad that like the weird little like kind of freak out, from yesterday about having a job or not, was dealt with. But like, cause also when I showed up, like the dude who's actually been the main guy mostly, for the most part, training me, it's like he kind of made it sound like I don't know if we're gonna work out anymore and this and that, blah blah. And he kind of in a way where like he sounded like upset about it, which I'm like, homie, like it was just kind of like a mixture of a mutual miscommunication on like. For the most part, like both of our parts, but also kind of like, dog, like the dude texted me an hour before he wanted me to officially come in, and like I was just dead asleep. And when I woke up, like I didn't notice the message later after someone else texted me. I was like, oh fuck, and I responded, and it was like, I don't know. That's why I just show up, and he was actually just kind of like, oh yeah, you're fine. He was like, oh no, don't worry, it's no problem. I did see your message and stuff. You're cool. I just wanted to like, blah blah blah. Like kind of explain a few others and got some other shit like, figured out. But like, it's like okay, that's good, but can y'all get your shit figured out, please? I'm not giving a consistent schedule. Basically, I'm kind of like on call at this point because yesterday. I didn't know until I noticed a message of like, hey, if you don't want to work anymore, let us know and we can, wrap it up or whatever. I was like, what the fuck? No. I definitely still want to work. Actually, I want to ask you some questions about like, the app, with clocking in / like, paycheck stub stuff, blah, blah, blah. Because I know we were talking about the paycheck shit before and all that shit. And, it didn't get back to me that day, so eventually, like, Logan needs some screens anyway, and we sell screens at the shop, so, we went over there and asked about that, and he's like, well, just show up, like, between, like, 10 to noon, like, that's what he said, after kind of, I don't know, kind of being a little, like, well, yeah, you're probably not working out in this and that anymore, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, what? It's like, I thought, like, it seemed like all was good. It was just miscommunication bullshit on this part. And it seems like that's just what it was. I don't know what that was about, honestly. I think, it sounded like he just kind of had a rough day and stuff, because usually he's pretty chill, and we kind of joke around here and there, and we just kind of do our own thing and stuff, like, so, I don't know. I mean, he's not like a manager or anything either. He's just like another employee, so, dude's being dick. Yeah, I mean, I'm noting it, but I'm, just gonna kind of just let it be for now. But I'm taking note of it, because I'm kind of like, do you think I'm not, able to like work here or something, or whatever? Fuck. I mean, just because of the one miscommunicatable like no show thing or whatever. You know what I mean? I was just kind of like, because I mean, I was kind of, even I was kind of a little like, damn, dude, Jesus. Be like, nah, man, it's really a bunch of lackluster shit. Yeah, because I was straight kind of there. Honestly, part of the reason why I did have like a little like, because I was kind of like, damn, bro, I thought maybe you would have been like, yeah, just blah, blah. I thought I'd been at least a little supportive, but it's like the opposite. I'm like, well, damn, okay, Jesus, like, because at that point I'm like, well, what the hell? I mean, fuck. I mean, I will admit, I'm glad he did, because it did help being like, yeah, like, enjoy everything, this and that. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to like make sure that I still got my shit, and if anything, I even asked about like, getting some other shit figured out. And he happened to be there, when I showed up between like, 10 to noon. It's like I like think what, like 11:30 or some shit when I showed up, and he was there and talked out, and he was totally fine, chill, like, so. If anything, I think he kind of understood that because of how their shit is right now, of how kind of a little lackluster it is, and even he's a little frustrated with it. So, because he's even kind of like, yeah, I just kind of have to kind of go day by day a little bit myself because of how things are right now. And luckily, we just interviewed someone earlier, and there should be another person interviewing later today, or either, unless something changes and tomorrow, but after that, everything should be streamlined and, and all that shit. And then, yeah, that like weird clock in, clock out stuff that should automatically have been set up when I set up my account with that Paychex app and thing, and all that shit. So, I can actually get paid and all this other shit. Like, for some reason, it's just not automatically there. Like, I'm connected to their shit, but not like, oh yeah, all right, I'm logged in now. I clock in now. I'm working, and then maybe in the lunch stuff and all that shit, right? Like, so it's definitely one of those things where I'm just like, what the fuck, a little bit. But once things are streamlined, from what it sounds like, they're finally getting resolved and they're communicating with me about it. At least once I nagged them about it, like, it sounds like things should finally kind of like work out. If anything, I might at least have a couple chill coworkers, and I already have the coworkers I got are chill as fuck too. So I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, once I think it'll once streamlined out, I think it'll be a good gig. And he also mentioned about the paycheck thing. He just said that, like, because of that, and when with the training before getting set up with that, like, he wants to at least make sure that like I have like all the hours set, and all that, So he's gonna make sure that's all like finalized, so I can at least get my first paycheck here soon and all that shit. So it seems like, I mean, my main worry, especially if yesterday, was like, oh fuck, literally just because of some dumb bullshit. Now I have to start from square one. But no, man, it's not that case from what it sounds like. Which, thank fucking God. I was like, that night after everything, I was kind of like in my head, essentially like, do I have to start from square one? Do I have to somehow explain this? What the fuck? Oh my God! I was like, kind of like, oh no, like, oh no. But went over there earlier and it's all good. So I was like, oh, whew. It's like, all right, things are fine. It's just they're just also in a kind of a clusterfuck too, and they just have these like the third party app thing, and also it's kind of like, man, you got a little bit of a convoluted system. Y'all might want to fix that. I got no fucking say or place for that, to say that shit. But I'm kind of like, yeah, y'all need to fix that shit because that's ridiculous. I mean, even with like the bullshit with like Safeway or like anything else in between, it's like I've never have had this problem. When it comes to like any employment shit. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of a little like bit, a little bit. I just don't think it's gonna be like a consistent because once I'm actually in, then I don't really have much to worry about. It's just more about like just make sure like the paycheck shit comes through and all that stuff. So but beyond that, like it's just these fucking little stupid hurdles. That doesn't sound good. No, they were down 3 people when I asked about an application, and now they're down 2 because they need midships, and I'm gonna be one of those midships. So they have like the 3 to 4 people literally like ping ponging back and forth from just opening and closing shifts. So it's like they're really short on people. Like apparently, that's why like I, without even putting an application into the place, pretty much got the fucking job. Like they're kind of desperate for people, from what I'm now hearing about the scuttlebutt. And that's why they interviewed somebody else so they can maybe do mornings or close or something like that, and then have somebody from mid, or at least like have something more persistent, like how they had it before. Apparently not that long ago they had some shit go down where it's like now they're down a bunch of people. So apparently someone quit, found a better job, from my understanding from Scuttlebutt. Someone else got fired, but quit. At least that's how they perceive it, because they were being kind of a weird suspects and giving discounts to a very hot chick that came into the store and was apparently stealing money from till and some shit like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck? How'd you guys get this motherfucker? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, and apparently no one else liked him either, really, and all sorts of shit. So it's like, and supposedly I'm taking over that guy's shift. So I'm like, damn, this guy sounded like a douchebag. And then there's like somebody else, but they haven't really mentioned about that guy. So I'm assuming that maybe that person just moved on, just kind of, academically, where it's like, yeah, I'm, just found a better job, just put my 2 weeks in. So I'm assuming it's probably like that, hence why it's never been mentioned. But I know they've always have been like, for the past like month or two, been down 3 people, and it's only been apparently recently where now they're getting people, and I was like one of the first people out of like this wave suddenly. And they've interviewed a few people, but they're like, so this is like the next couple people that they've interviewed, and at least the first person they're actually pretty, optimistic about, and I don't know about the second guy apparently. So might have a new coworker on top of that, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I just got to make sure that, for me, on my end, I just, yes man my way through it, learn shit, and basically just, just keep my head down for a little bit and just do the job, So, I mean, I don't really have too much to fucking worry about necessarily, as long as I just, do that. I mean, I got a little frustrations, but it's just, I feel like hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll get resolved soon, and, shouldn't be a problem after that. In time. I mean, shit. Like, if I'm, if they're saying, hey, they'll give me full time, and, like, the wage was, before I got, fired from Safeway, like, my wage was $21.53, but before that, which was, I got fired like a few months after the contract got ratified, it was $17.53. So, and also that was even when it should have been 20 something already. So me fighting, persistent with the union and that new contract, kind of not with back pay, but at least, got my wage adjusted properly. But for the longest time, it was like $17.50 something. So I was making that pretty much already for, a good chunk of like working at Safeway. So 17 flat for the wage is not big of a difference, especially with tips and stuff like that. I mean, like the last time I worked, I got $5 in tips, and that's just like, for that type of business, not that bad. All all right, not too shabby. I can dig that. I mean, I want to be get like delivery driver or like bartender tips or whatever the fuck, but hey, tips are tips. And there were times even at Safeway I got tips, not that often, and we weren't even supposed to accept them. We were supposed to decline them. But I'm just like, fuck that. If someone wants to give me a tip and give me like $2 or like a fiver or whatever, I even got like $10 once. I'll be like, you know what? Here, just sit it down here. Wait for me to put the bag there for you, right on top of it. I'll kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge it with them. And then swoop, slide it, and then just pocket it, while you're doing that shit. Because, like, we can't accept them and they don't like us doing that and all this other shit. So, be a little sly with it. Or if, we're checking out, then just leave it there. And once we're done, I'll just swipe it really quick and big whoop, you know what I mean? Never got a question about that shit. Because I think even our company understood that, like, yeah, like, people like us are going to, take a little tip. And it's obvious that the customer's giving us a tip. Like, they know we aren't just going to deny that. It's like a rule that they want, but it's like, nah, that ain't happening. Because they could have got me on that shit. Like, they decided to get me over some stupid bullshit like, oh, you didn't, like, check out, like, the right amount of beers that you had or something, or, like, you're sneaking fucking deli food out, or whatever the fuck. It's like, really? Like, seriously? Like, I'm obviously like, alright, I got my stuff. I'm gonna put a little bit of it aside and then check it out and blah, blah, blah. Like, I even mentioned it's like, yeah, like I do that, but like the one time where maybe like, or the one or two couple times where I'm not aware because I got my fucking earbuds in and it's not all checked out because I'm just going for the motions because I'm just off work, doing usual shit. It's like, I mean, hey, you know what? You can dock the pay or whatever. I mean, I'll take the compensation, whatever the fuck, because I'm assuming I'm paying for it and I thought I was, but it's like evidently wasn't. So, oop. But no, they didn't even like get me back. I know I can't lawsuit their ass on that, like straight up. Now that I got my job again, now that I'm thinking about like once I get some a little extra stable and everything else, I'm thinking about actually maybe looking at a labor attorney and being like, hey, like there is this situation a year back, and I feel like at if anything, I could probably get someone over the shit because of legally of how they went about this, despite explaining and describing exactly how they were going to go about this and did not do that. They can get me on like, technicality on my shit, I'll even admit to that, but like fucking hell, like at least when it comes down to it legally, like how they were supposed to terminate me or even send me or whatever, like they even verbally and audibly mentioned like, yeah, we'll like have you clock in one more time for the meeting, to let you know about this type of shit and follow up, and then go from there, and then you clock off after that, or if nothing else happens, you can go back to work and clock, stay clocked in and whatever. So they said that specifically in the meeting, and said that like this is part of the process and the routine, and that never fucking happened. So they didn't even call me or nothing. I didn't get shit. So, I mean, obviously at this rate, I can easily fucking at least do a lawsuit just on that alone. And it's within the statute of limitations still. I know Safeway got the records. I got some myself. Especially when it comes to like them not like giving me my property journeyman wages and shit for a long fucking time, and then shortly after they finally did do that shit, like I could probably get like a pretty little nice little hefty sum off of that. I might just fucking do a little trip if I get something like that. I'd be like celebration on going to like Mexico City or fucking Sao Paulo or some shit. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? I just say fuck it if that happens, because I've been considering it since it happened, and I still fucking consider it. And I got like a few options I can look at to maybe look into this. So I know for sure there's like, because I've looked it up before already. Like I know, there are definitely some reputable like labor, attorneys where I'm like, once I can jump the, gun and be able to like, pull the trigger, I'll hit one of them up. Maybe, a few of them up. Is that comfortable to you? Apparently it is. God, I love capitalism in America. Even on like a small business level, I have to have some goddamn fucking problems, man. I remember doing that stage training and shit back at like, that fucking little bistro and shit. Now, and literally just because of my fucking, like phone bill shit, they were just like, nah, we found someone else. And I'm just like, really? Seriously? So you use me for some labor for like a couple days, and you're like, nah. It's like, what? I mean, I know what stage is because it's like basically, hands-on training to a potential work that you're going to do, but it's unpaid. It's like an internship. Like, and it's predominant within the restaurant industry and the culinary industry. It's literally basically the restaurant culinary equivalent of internship. And it's like, bruh, I didn't even necessarily do a bad job. I will admit, like, the first day, like, I did, like, kind of misunderstood the measurements that they had. And he was kind of like, bruh. But I was kind of like, I'm sorry, I kind of like, being a little weird about it, but like, I promise, like, it's the exact same shit, just being layered in there. I guarantee it was still the same stuff, I promise. And he was like, all right, I trust you, all right. And then once, I got it all done and mixed it up, it was the exact same stuff that it was, from the other tub that he had that was almost empty. And I was like, see, told you. He was kind of a little like, okay, I guess you got your thing, but please just do it all at once when it comes to the measurements and stuff, because it's blah blah blah. He was explaining it. I was like, I understand, I totally get that. Like, I'll do that the next time for sure. Like, honestly, I just kind of went with the motions after I was like, doing it after a minute, and just kind of went for my own emotions. But I made sure everything was still like accurate to what the measurements were. Blah blah blah. But the next thing wasn't that bad. But then after that, I had to like deal with the phone bill thing, and then once I had it settled, I called them up, and then you know and being like, oh yeah, you can come in, well explain blah blah blah, ask you about stuff, because they tried calling you a couple times, and I was like, well yeah, I'm just I gave them a white lie and said that my phone broke and I had to get a new one and all this other shit, and they were like, all right, no worries. And I went in there, but they were like, yeah, we just want to let you know we have like other people that that we've hired, and you can at least maintain contacts and stuff, but chances are, at least for right now, we don't really have anything open anymore. I'm just like, really? Like, I was literally just dead ass like, what? Like, so I got used for like a couple days for a few hours, just for some stage A training, and then that what happened. I mean, I don't blame it, because that is straight up a mom and pop shop, but it's just like, come on, really? Uh, at least I don't have to worry about that anymore, or at least for now. I mean, I'm still gonna at least, do that as a side thing for just in case there's some shit that's better. But like for now, thank fuck, I don't gotta worry about it anymore. I don't mention it for a while. Like I'm getting impatient. I'm fucking angry about the shit now. It's fucking pissing me off. Like I was just like at a certain point just mad. I was just like, you know what? I'm just mad about this. Now it's like, take a fucking breather a little bit. Especially now after like yesterday, where I was like, oh, do I still have this? Please tell me I do. And it's like, oh, yes, I do. Thank fuck. Because I was not trying to go back to square one again. That's fucking sure. Because hopefully, here pretty soon, hopefully, by the end of the year, I should be able to have like, cool little spot, maybe a cool roomie or something. I feel like, there's some options here coming here soon. And once with that, then it will be a lot more easier and smooth sailing. Because I'll admit, like, I need a break from this place. Not because of anyone in particular, but just because, like, it's not a weirdly stressful energy to be here, if that makes sense. Like, my old home, here, like it just feels like wherever I kind of go, there's always just this stressful, angsty fucking energy where I'm like, so not even like I said, not anyone in particular. Just it's just that angst and just energy of just like I just need my spot, like I just need that again because I'm just kind of in this little flip flop, like going back and forth all the place and shit. And it's like I need like home plate. Like I just need that again. Like at this point, and hopefully here at the end of the year, at least that's my goal. I got something going. At least by December for sure, or at least at worst have something lined up to get in by like January or something. Because I don't expect that to happen like now necessarily anytime soon, but by the time it's like November, December, I should be able to like have enough to of a means to be able to get like like a head start to be able to like get somewhere, even if it's like a little studio apartment like nearby. You know what I mean? Like so, or just rooming up with like someone I know that's in the area and shit like that. So, and honestly, ultimately, I don't really have much stuff, and what other shit I do got that I don't necessarily need to be in like my space. I can just like rent out a little storage unit, or I can have that in another family member's space, where I know that it ain't gonna be messed with and they got the space for it or something. So I'm not gonna pay them money, for it via like Venmo, Cash App, or whatever the fuck. So because I got a lot of stuff from like childhood stuff, college shit, some other stuff where I'm like, I don't just need it in my space. But there's definitely plenty of others where I'm like, yeah, I don't want that around, but and definitely don't take that much space. I just need to like have a new space to organize it in a way though I can actually have it right. So fingers crossed anytime. But I'll take a little pet piss. Be right back. Jesus. So much of this fucking beer here was in that goddamn sink, dude. Fucking hell. Man, and there was some on that goddamn fucking whatchamacallit, like the fucking faucet thing. It's like, what, bruh? How? Damn, Jack be dead. Boo. I say boo to that. Boo to that good stuff. Boo. You know what? Let me look at my notifications because I always get Phoebe's notifications. She has not. You know what? Okay, there we go. There we go. Well, so what happens? Oh, son of a fuck. Phone's at like 55%, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm keeping it charged. And I definitely have tempted to be like, you know what? Go out there, grab one more. Sometimes. I am tempted. I have no democracy to enact to let me, you know, dictate whether I do or not. So I'm deciding on my own to figure that one out. Oh shit! Fuck it. This fucking screen. All right, where the homeboy? Oh, there it is. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely disappointed at the fact that like MAGA chuds have not shown up. I have like little hashtags and some shit like that as an attempt to experiment. I feel like I need to really cast a net multiple times for this to really truly work, but it's like, man, motherfucker. I figured it, especially if the time I'm doing it right now, you would think there would have been a few. And I guarantee you these little pussy bitches are fucking hiding and lurking when they were in here. It's like, man, when are they gonna actually man up and come in here and fucking tell a liberal what's what? You know what I'm saying? Tell commie lib what's what. All addicted to drugs, alcohol, and sex. Oh. Just. You sleepy bean. Little chunk. Yeah. You lazy chunk. Wow. She's just so out of it, she don't even give a fuck. She's just kind of staring at me, though. She's kind of like, really, bro? But she's too lazy to give a shit. You just chilling. You just chilling. You stretchy little thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you stretchy little bean. Ah, between you, Zukov, and Vito, you are just stretch beans. Oh, no, you love that little booty back scratch. Booty back scratch. Yeah, you love that. Yes, you do. Look at the little tail wag. Oh my goodness. Oof. Oof. Ah, the goofy thing. Goof. Little chunk. Absurd little chunk. Hmm. Kind of debating if I want to maybe do a little quick 2K him up. But I'm like, we do that a lot, so I'm thinking like Mario Kart or something too. I wonder if he's got like Mortal Kombat fucking downloaded on his fucking thing. Because if he does, ooh, that would be legit. Fucking nuts. And it's been such a minute since I fucking played some Mortal Kombat. Could do some Zelda. Because I haven't played, that much of it. Outside of the tutorial. I got some options. I also have the option of trying to fucking fix the goddamn Xbox, though, to be honest. Because we do have the fucking duster. Actually, you know what? Look at that bitch. Turn off tab. Yeah, let's turn it off. Both of these dogs were like, what the fuck was that? Jesus. I feel so bad for him, but holy shit, dude. Alright, let me look at this bad boy. Ugh. Might as well just get the surface level of it. Jesus, this thing is fucking insanely intensely strong. I would kind of honestly deadass wish I knew how to fucking. Oh, what? Wait a minute. Wait. Ooh. There is little. Oh, wait. I might be able to open this. There's like little tabs on the side here because I know I need a fucking. Might as well do this first. Alright, so there's little tabs here. I need something to. Let's try this. There's gotta be a way to open this fucking thing. I mean, I ain't gonna try to fuck with it too much, but I know there's a way to open this fucking thing. Well, I thought that side would work, but you know what? I do see some other little inlets here, so I'm gonna do this as well. We'll see if that at least helps a little bit. Just doing this to see if there might be anything loose, and there isn't. But yeah, so it might just be some dust shit. I think if I can figure out how to pop off this, like, surface thing, I should be okay. I just gotta figure that out eventually. In time. But maybe that will help a little bit. I'm not gonna test it now. There's no point in doing that, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. What's it? Oh my god, you are such a slut for the beer. I can't believe you actually attempted to lick that. You are a fucking degenerate. Oh, you're a degenerate. Must have put that in here. I wonder if there's a way to keep it locked so it doesn't fucking... I guess there isn't a way. Alright, whatever. Not a big deal. That'll be fine. Alright, where Beater Petiter? Oh, there you are. Aww. Little sweet boy. Little sweet bean. Beto. I know you want to be over here, Vito. I knew it. Come on. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come on. Well, hello. Oh. Oh. Yeah. You're such a goofy fucking bean, dude. You are such a heavy, panting, breathing fuck, dude. You breathe so heavily, so intensely. What are you doing? What's going on here? Are you just plopping? Are you just plop? Ugh. Ugh. No, I see what you're trying to do, buddy. That ain't happening. Whoa. I think you just stole Jazz's spot. Really, bro? I just realized, at least you're not as bad as your cough. When I was hanging out with him today, bro, I woke up seeing him consuming all, well, not consuming. He already did. All the treats I was going to have for him. For me, like, hey, who's the boy, Big Bean? Blah, blah, blah. You know, or being like, all right, I got to go. Here you go, Sweet Bean. You know, like, he ate them all, dude. I was like, bro, I give you all these fucking treats so I can sparse them out for you. Somehow you fucking found them. And I thought I put him in a spot where he couldn't get to that shit. But apparently he did. And like, or my dad or somebody fucking just like took them and gave him some treats and just put it somewhere where he could just get them. Oh my god, I don't even know, bro. I was just like, bruh. Like, I didn't even open one of them yet. I was like, what the fuck? I can't even be mad at you, Sukov, but like, Jesus Christ, bro, you ate all of them. All 3 fucking bags. I was like, Jesus. The fuck, my dude? Vito ate steak once. Yeah, the steak incident of Kara and fucking Marcus. Yeah, that was on stream. That was caught on stream. You went for the fucking steak, and that was caught on stream. You are a savage. Oh, don't be looking cute right now. You remember, you know. Oh my god, the fucking steak incident. Not even Zukov has done anything like that. He's done some heinous, like, bruh. He's eaten a burrito. He's eaten a burrito of mine before. He's eaten endless snacks. He's found and eaten snacks. Dude, he's gone after my fucking packets of ramen and shit. Dude, he is... Zukov is a fucking little bastard. But not like Vito, man, because Vito's rare about it. But when he does it, oh my god, it is devious. Zukov is just rapid fire and just quantity over quality. But like this motherfucker... Oh... That's a fucking, like, you know, quality over quantity. Like, I mean, oh my god. This son of a bitch. You let Uber get to it. The thing is, most of the time, I don't. Like, he's just smart. And he knows how to get the shit. And sometimes he'll fuck other shit up, get into the damn thing. And I get extra mad when that happens. He's broken a bong doing this shit once before, okay? Like, I mean, but Zukov is pretty bad about it. Not anymore, but he used to be pretty bad. Like, I mean, but... I don't know, man. Like, he still has got his fucking gnarly shit, bro. Well, has the nerve to jump on the table if I leave food on it. Zukov has done that. He has done that, too. Now, not that often, but I have deadass seen him sit on the table once before, and I'm just like, you motherfucker. And I got really like, I got really quickly like, oh, hell no on his ass, and I haven't seen him do it since. So, the one time I saw him do that, like, I made sure he wasn't going to do that again. I didn't, like, hurt him nothing. I just went like, I literally was just like, oh, you son of a bitch. And he was like, oh, shit. And just like, literally, like, scurried and then flipped and fell off the fucking table. And then just, like, scurried off in the corner. And I honestly, at that point, just started laughing. And I was like... and then I had to comfort my boy. I'm like, alright, I didn't mean to fucking spook you and hurt you unintentionally because of your shenanigans. But, like, never do that again. No. But, damn it, that was hilarious. But I haven't seen him do that ever again since, so thank God. But I don't think that does anything. Nah, not really. I mean, you never want to hit your dogs, but there is like a sense of discipline where it needs to be physical for sure. Like, if you grab by the scruff of the neck and then, like, kind of pin him down or, like, wrestle him and then you're on top of him being like, no, and then you, like, hold their muzzle. Like, there are physical ways, you know, where a dog will absolutely understand at that point, you know, where it's like, oh shit, it kind of fucked up because now I'm being submitted. You know, where, especially if you, like, hold their muzzle because, like, you know, one thing that, if they're puppies, like, one thing that's, like, a maternal, like, mama being, like, I'm disciplining you kind of instinct is, like, kind of, like, taking their, you know, the muzzle of their maw and, like, kind of, like, holding their muzzle down with their mouth and shit. Like, that's kind of, like, a discipline of, like, no, you fucking pipe down, you're done, I'm, like, disciplining you, and you're in timeout, and I kind of got you in, like, the fucking, like, you know, a little pinch. You act up, I will chomp down on your fucking face. Like, literally. You know what I mean? Like, so, it's like an instinctual thing. So if you pin them down and do that, you don't have to do it hard, just like enough to where they're like, they know like, oh fuck. Like when Vito starts barking, I will do that to him, being like, shut the fuck up, bro. And not hard, but he'd be like, woo, woo, woo. You know, do that shit. But I'd be like, shut up, stop it. You know, don't hurt him. He still wants to try to boof, but you know, he ain't being boofing like he is. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, obviously, you don't hurt him. You know, it's all fine, all that. You know, it's all good. In fact, he's being such a sweet bean. You're just a sweet little bean. Yes, you is. Oh my goodness, you giving me a little bean. Are you giving me your beans? Oh, just a boy. Got your moments, but you're a good boy. One never says a big aggressive pit bull where no once you can barely control it. Lady in a wheelchair said if she jumps her again, she's shooting the owners and the dog. Whoa, that's extreme. I mean, can't they call like the Oregon Humane Society or like the ASPCA and be like, hey, yo, they're like this person's neglecting their dog and they have an aggressive dog that they're not training or like, you know, yeah, all that shit. You know what I mean? That's what we told her. Well, dude, there's resources within the state and even nonprofit orgs that will contact like state animal control to get to their facilities to be like, yeah, we'll take that dog. And you know, like, cause I'll say this, I'm not about no kill shelters. I don't give a fuck, you know, what the condition of the behavior of the animal is. Like, but like, I mean, I do think there should be given a no kill shelter, and at least tamed a little bit, or at the very least, given a comfortable life, until it gets old enough to maybe where it could be adopted, where it's too old to be a fucking aggressive fighter kind of dog, and then just whatever, you know what I mean? Like, because I just hate the idea of no-kill shelters. Even if, like, it might be, like, kind of an understandable circumstance, it just has never sit right with me. You try rescuing a dog, but this isn't the best place for that. Hello, dogs here. I wish I knew the pit bulls and the parolee. Oh, so the guy tried... So the dog's already a rescue. The dude tried to take it in, and obviously cannot handle that dog. So this is just the fact that the owner is not suited and fit to raise a dog like this. And it's a pit bull who's a rescue. That takes a certain person to fucking raise a dog like that. Yeah, like, what the oh my god. So the person's just a fucking idiot. So they're just a goddamn fucking idiot. Like, know the dog you're fucking getting, and you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? I mean, if it was like a puppy, I can understand, like, hey, I raised it, but it's just such a problematic dog. But, like, at that point, that's just on you to fucking, deal with it. But, like, at this rate, it's like, dude, you knew it was a rescue dog and a pit bull, so probably, like, came from, like, the dog fighting fucking scene and that heinous evil shit. And it's just like, you aren't training this dog and, like, getting it adapted and, like, trained to be friendly again and be, like, because you can do that for dogs. Like, there are definitely plenty of stories of, like, yeah, you had these fighting dogs that, yeah, they got a lot of that, energy and their instinct in them still, but you get the right person to handle them and train them, and they, after, like, a year, give or take, like, they're the most sweetest little fucking babies in the world. Like, so, obviously it just takes the right person to just wean them and get them off of, that instinct, and at that point, it's just maybe PTSD at that rate. And obviously that person and that owner would take that into consideration, but it's like, now they gave him such a healthy, good environment where they can't help but be a lovey-dovey dog until the PTSD and the trauma for them being a fighting dog and shit comes in. You know what I mean? Like, but that's on the onus of the owner to make sure that they know that shit and know the behavior and know their dog. Like, I mean, not literally, but they're a person too. They got their personalities. They have trauma. They have, instincts. They have memories. They have all this shit like we do as humans. It's like, if they're a man's best friend, treat them like such. Because they deserve it. Oh, it is here. That's true. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why, I never blamed this, the animal. I blame the person that has not only raised them, but also has, like, bred them and also has, like, you know, like, basically it's, like, raised them and trained them to be this way. But, that doesn't mean that, like, every pit bull or Rottie or Shepherd or whatever, like, or any animal, like, that doesn't mean, like, or even for roosters, too, for example. Like, it doesn't mean that every, like, animal in that case is that exact same fucking thing. I ain't trying to tolerate any dog trying to maul me. Well, no shit. Hence the onus of the owner. That's the responsibility of the owner to make sure they know their fucking dog and their animal, period. Whatever it's, if it's a dog or any other, animal they have as a pet. And to know that shit and to make sure that they don't do that. And if they're a dog or any animal that just can't be out in public with people, then don't do that. But if you're able to make it so they can and are able to be totally friendly little sweet baby beans, then absolutely, then do that. Because I'm not even kidding. Like most pit bulls I've ever met, or most like bullies and pit breeds and like that, they're the most sweetest, friendliest little, cutest little sweeties I've ever met in my life. I'm not even joking. Do I understand that like they tend to be an aggressive breed? Sure, but obviously it just takes the right owner to train them, and raise them to just be little sweeties, like how Sukov is. Like I, especially in the past, like now I know he has an aggressive side where he can be an aggressive, like I will fuck you up, like kind of motherfucker if he gets pushed to that point. I remember with Blue and stuff, and Brian had him, like when that shit happened. But like for the most part, he's just like the sweetest little bean in the world because I've grown up, raising him as a little baby puppy, just making him the little bean that he is, Not a dog person in general, so I'm definitely not giving him extra leeway. Well, I mean, I used to not be a dog person too. I used to actually have trauma because of dogs. Like I used to have PTSD because of dogs. Like there was one time growing up where the dog was friendly. I mean, but I'm just like this little thing. Like I'm like 5 years old, or or maybe maximum six. About 5 or 6 years old, and this dog is a big like all black German Shepherd. And obviously a friendly dog, but he sees me or she sees me. I don't really know this, gender of the dog, but like they were like, "Friend, oh, I want to play with you." Like in hindsight, I recognize that, but as a little baby kid and a little toddler, basically, I don't know that shit. I thought that dog was coming after me, and I just started running. I was like, "Oh hell no!" And I was looking back, like, "Oh shit, this dog is chasing me," and the dog is just playing, but then eventually it starts jumping and bouncing because it, obviously wants to play around, and all that shit. And then it just got me right in the face and just like, and there was like three predominant like scars right on the side of my face. I went like here to here, and of course I'm like 5, maybe 6 years old. I start screaming and crying like like a bitch, but. And my dad's like, "Oh my god, blah blah blah," and then the owners of the dog were like, "Holy fuck, I'm so sorry," because the owners are already trying to get the dog, be like, "Yo yo yo," and then be like, to calm it down, and because they kind of recognize that my dad did. I'm just a kid, so I don't. But I do remember them being like, "Hey, look, we understand, blah blah blah." At least what my dad was saying, and they worked it out apparently. But I was just like, I'm just sitting there the entire time, like, because I just got just unintentionally, but just like this, like right on my face and shit. I'm just like, God damn, bro. But I mean, for the longest time, I used to fucking hate dogs. To be honest, I did not want to be around them. I didn't like them. And I used to be a little cautious for the longest time, being like, yeah, good dog, and just pat their head at most. But after my mom got those little yap dogs, oh my god, they were a little bit of a pill, but I love them too. But like, after the Yap Dogs and and hanging with them, I was like, all right, they're not really too bad. And even with those dogs, like they weren't even really like that annoying for being little small little Yap dogs, for what they were. They were actually pretty chill. Just had a lot of health problems, and shit like that, and other bullshit. And I just, I really feel bad for them. But then I warmed up a lot after that, and then got Zukov after Logan got Vito and Blue, or Vito and fucking Jazzy, and then yeah, I mean after that, and I'm just like I love these little floofs. I love the doggos. But I'm definitely not a dog person. The culture is turned off for me. Too many shitty dog owners and insufficient regulations. I agree with that, man. I think it really makes a fucking bad rap, for good dog owners. Like Logan has bitched about it. I've bitched about it. Like, dude, like there are people out there that are just so fucking anal about it. And there are also a lot of people that just want to give dog owners a bad fucking name because they're just too stupid. That's honestly probably why in some parts of Chicago is anal about it, because I noticed that there were a lot of people even in downtown Chicago on the sidewalks and shit. People just walking their dogs and shit. So like I could tell that a lot of people own dogs there, but like obviously, people not giving a fuck about picking up after their animals and all this other shit is evidently a problem over there. Hence why they're probably anal about that and other shit too. You know what I mean? Like it's because of just shitty people. It's the people that are the problem. I don't blame the animals. I blame the people being shitty and not taking after, and actually being responsible with the fucking animals that they own, that are theirs. Like I treat like Zukov like family to me, right? Like, and that means I'm gonna try to take care of him like family, and obviously he can't like pick up his own shit and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I gotta do that for him. That's the responsibility as me, as like his little pop slash my his owner to fucking do that. You know what I mean? It's like that's just part of the responsibility of having a dog, on top of a bunch of other shit. You know what I mean? He can't look after his own health. I have to make sure that happens. You know what I mean? And it's like it's that simple. And it just gives, fucking genuine dog owners, like even if, flaws and all, like, the ones that actually give a fuck, like, it just gives them a bad name. Picture of Portland put up signs in parks. Backpacks will be searched. Everyone will flip the fuck out. Oh, I know, dude. That was a little wild. I'm like, I mean, legally, do you have a warrant? Like, but obviously, if that's city ordinance, then I guess I can't fucking use that defense. It's like, what? That's just fucking wild. I will admit, dude. Like, I have my nitpicks about Chicago, but you know what? Like, I still think it's my favorite city, despite that. But like, I definitely got some nitpicks, especially with the parks and shit like that, because it was a little like, what the fuck? I mean, I will admit, especially trying to swim like at the beaches and just go out and dive in. Like they literally fucking yelled at you because you were trying to dive in. They're like, and me and Logan, like we're like knee deep or waist deep, being like looking at each other like, what the fuck? We were overhearing it, but we were like, huh? Don't go past the boat. Get back. And we were both literally like, what the fuck? We literally can't even dive in. Because, like, you literally, like, this deep, and you try to jump in, and that's when they started freaking the fuck out after that. Like, I'm just, like, sitting here like, what the fuck? Like, really? I thought those little, like, pier little beam things, that are out in, like, in the berm or whatever. Like, I thought that was, like, our limit of where we could swim. You know what I mean? It's like, huh? It's like, that is some bunk bullshit. Like, let us go out to the pier area. Let the boats be, like, in between that shit every now and then, just to make sure people aren't going too far out. But, like, I don't know. Like, it's just so stupid. Chicago's got a little bit of some bunk shit going on, I will admit. But, you know what? You can circumnavigate and find some cool shit. Like, the place where we could dive in, Like, hey, You can't fucking, go out and dive and swim and shit at the beaches, apparently, or at least at that one that we happen to be at. But hey, like a 5-7 minute walk down, a little bit, you can just dive in and do that to your heart's content. How you doing, bud? Pretty good. Doing pretty good. I'm debating on maybe getting one more bruh, but I'm like, that means adventure time, and do I want to do that? Chicago is a big L libertarian. Portland's a little libertarian. Lamau. I don't know. I feel like I don't know, man. There's a lot of things about Chicago where I was like kind of legit, like, hey, this is kind of legit. But the nitpicks were a little like, damn, that's fucking bunk. I will admit, but I don't know. It's like, what outweighs the pros or the cons? And I feel like the pros for me personally kind of outweigh. Not that, Portland's the same, not the same way, because it is. But I don't know. Like, for me, like, I have my bias against Portland, but for a city that isn't Portland, I just have to say, hands down, like, it's Chicago. Despite my nitpicks and, it's weird little, like, kind of bunk bullshit. I'll admit, the one time we got busted by a cop, he was, like, literally just straight up a disappointed dad the entire time. I'm so fucking glad the one time that me and Logan were literally busted by a cop, we're drinking one more beer, before we go to the airport. It is just literally a disappointed dad energy cop being like, come on, guys. I know you're terrorists, but come the fuck on. Toss it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm so glad that is what we got. Dude, I'm so happy about that. I'm not even gonna lie. Because, man, from what I've heard about, like, some Chicago cops, that could have literally ended in so many different ways where we would have been so fucked, dog. But he was literally like, it's not an alcoholic beverage. Really? Yeah, it is. Okay. Come on, guys. Come on. Toss it. Come on. You know better. And then we just had to walk away, dude. But you know what? I strategically made sure that fucking bear hug like this that we were drinking, I placed it where it was like this, where like the wall of the fucking trash bin was like facing away from the lip, and it was an empty trash bin for the most part too, and so it was actually pretty clean. So I made sure that I just like nestled it in between like this like box and an empty like can, like that was sitting in the corner, and it was perfectly nestled like the fucking Tower of Giza and shit, bro. And then we just like we're both like we're walking back and forth up this a little bit, and we waited for that cop to leave. Once he did, we just grabbed it. I did a quick pound. He did a quick pound. There was a little left. I finished it off, tossed it back in there, and then we went up the escalator. Not shortly after he did, and then I looked over when I saw him next to his other cop buddy, shit, when they were talking, and then he happened to be like looking at us, and I just waved goodbye, and we just kept walking, and he didn't follow or pursue or nothing. He just kept walking, and he just sat there, kept talking to his buddy and whatever the fuck, so he was probably saying, these fucking dumb tourists, I swear to God, we always get these fucking morons with a goddamn beer or some shit, having one more, I'm sure he's bitching. I'm just like, oh my God. The disappointed dad energy. I kind of loved it. You know what? The one time I had to deal with Chicago cops, I kind of respect. It was just disappointed dad energy. I will admit, probably helps that we're both white. I will admit, I'm sorry. Probably the truth. Not even joking. Probably is a little truth there. Yeah, what's rated by Smoker Dog? Actually, I think it's the same thing from last time. What is it? Jellykins. Jellykins. Are both of these Jellykins? Oh yeah, he just straight up got all that shit. He forgot to bring this to the fucking rehearsal too. Because they're, dude, same strain, but hold up. Hold up. We gotta show this fucking beauty off. This fucking thing. How do I even attempt to hold this? Because there's barely a fucking stem for me to hold. I just have to hold it by its side. Look at this tree, dude. For this strain, this wasn't even the biggest one that I saw. I should have gotten the package that had bigger nugs because this wasn't even the biggest one that I saw. This is like the medium size. This is like the second to the biggest. This thing's fucking absurd. It's a Brussels sprout. It literally is a Brussels sprout, bro. I mean, this thing is absurd. Like, you can literally break this up like 4 times over. I actually dead-ass wonder. I got a fucking scale at my house. Like, I need to bring it over here so we can just see how much this alone weighs. I guarantee you this is like 1.5 grams, bro. Does my homie Logan have a scale? Dude, I gotta ask him if he has a scale, because we gotta measure that nug before we start breaking it up. Like, we gotta save that nug just so we can weigh it before we break it up, because that nug is just too fucking beautiful not to at least weigh and, you know, just see, you know what I mean? Like, it's just too beautiful. The thing is just a fucking Brussels sprout, beautiful evergreen tree of dank, bro. You know what I mean? It's just fucking insane, dude. That wasn't even the biggest one. There was one that's like twice the size of that fucking thing, and I should have gotten that bag, because that was filled with like mostly gigantic nugs like that, and then it just had this gargantuan fucking beast of a nug just there, and I'm just like, and I debated. I was like, I looked at the guy. I'm like, man, I got kind of eeny, meeny, miny, mode this shit, because like all 3. He showed me 3 bags. He showed me like the one that I think. Dead ass. I think actually one of these bags is one of those. And then the other one was the one I got. And then the other one was just this fucking gargantuan beast of nug. Just nuggage. Just like a forest. Like a fucking Brussels sprout harvest. Just like, and I'm like, bruh, I should have gotten that. Man, because that shit was just fucking ridiculous, dude. I knew Logan would have gotten it if it was there, because it would have been here if it was. Not that nug is not immaculate, but like she had many sisters who were just as, and also a little more immaculate. Where I'm just like, goddamn, holy fuck, holy shit. You know, if it wasn't for Chicago dispensaries being goddamn trash, I genuinely would say that, like, they're legit kind of competitive to us a little bit. But they won't even let you see the nuggage or the weed or anything. That's just how the Illinois state law is with it, like, apparently. Like, they're kind of a little lame with it. I mean, they got wrecked and shit. Like, we got weed in there, we were smoking and stuff, but it's like, bruh. Dude, worst dispensary experience in the world. That's the only thing that's really shitty for me, where I'm like, damn, not only am I paying a little bit more for this shit, but also, like, it's just kind of shitty. It's like, damn, definitely not like Oregon. Definitely not like Oregon. And hence, like, it validates my position. West Coast, best coast. Because fucking Minnesota's got recreational weed, and dead ass, I'm not even joking, they don't even got, like, bud and all this other shit. You gotta go to the res for that shit. Which you always could anyway. But, like, they don't have it all, like, completely set up. And that was how it was when we were there. And to this day, it's still like that. They still haven't, like, finalized their fucking rec laws and all this other shit. It's like, bro, what the fuck are y'all doing in Minnesota? Like, you're all fucking up. Like, again, West Coast, best coast. West Coast, best coast. Like, that Cali Bud, like, fucking, you know, shit where everyone's like, oh, yeah, this is dank of the West Coast. And that's just literally expanded to Washington and Oregon now. You know, like, the entire West Coast is basically like Cali Bud now. Like, we're pretty much just, like, the West Coast has just gotten on lock. At this point, as far as I'm concerned, there's no debate about it. I'm actually would be shocked if there's some other good bud out there. Because if so, I would generally like to hear it. Because I've tried in different places, and I'm not gonna lie that even if it's competitive, still not it. Still not it. So there better be some state out there where I'm like they better got like some dank of dank. You know what? The only state that I think could one up us, weirdly enough, is Mississippi, because they got recreational lead and marijuana lounges. So you can like literally go to like a fucking like the equivalent of like a cigar lounge, but it's for weed. And it's like, what? We don't even got that shit. They're like the only state in the union so far with rec weed to have that. Like they're the only one I can arguably say that has it better than us just on that virtue alone. I can go to a little lounge, have a little like beer or a cocktail, and then smoke some weed in the lounge and just chill. Fuck yeah! Oh, fuck yeah, dude! Yes, please. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I want that. Why has Oregon not got that shit? Can we amend our weed law to have that, please? Thank you very much. Like that would be amazing. You know what I mean? Like they're the only state so far that I think could potentially one up any other legal state just on that virtue alone. Cali don't got it. Illinois don't. Like no other state has it besides them so far as I know. Like, I mean, if there's another state, then fuck them too. Honestly, because goddamn it, like, why don't we have this shit? This is what happens when, like, the recreational laws, like, have this like turbulent, like, snowball effect, because like eventually, over time, you get these other states that kind of upgrade over, these other laws. Being like, oh, we could do it a little better, make a little more money if we have this. Like these little weed lounges and shit. Like Mississippi, like how in the fuck did Mississippi get this shit right? I don't fucking know, but apparently they do. Like I'm generally fucking shocked about it myself, but if you don't believe me, go look it up. It's generally kind of fucking surprising. Gotta ask a question. Well, you don't have to ask that, and you just shoot the question. This is your new apartment. No, I kind of ping pong a little bit right now. I'm not even gonna lie, but eventually there will be a new space, but in time, not quite yet though. It's low good space. I'm just like kind of here half the time, especially with work, because like my work is literally like dead ass around the corner from here. It's like how my old work from Safeway was. It's literally just dead ass around the corner, like a 5 minute walk. So a lot of time I tend to be here, especially with that now at this point. And when I'm not, being with my pup, being at my house and shit. But that place needs a lot of fucking goddamn work for it to be like an actual like space again. And I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But now with me eventually getting more stable, that should potentially be like more of a game plan to get going again. But if anything, I'd rather probably just like landlord it out and just like rent it out for some people. Big old lefty comic guy over here, an anarchist and shit, union guy, and all of a sudden, oh, now going landlord stand. Hey, if I gotta make my side shutter, man, I gotta do it. And a marker for a prosthetic. Oh my fucking god, I forgot you're that motherfucker. I forgot you are that motherfucker. Oh my god, I forgot. I should have remembered. Oh my god. I should have remembered this. I should have expected this. Alright, now I'm really taking this. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Yep. This new soda, this poppy kind of soda shit, not even gonna lie, so far pretty good. At least if I tried this one, the cherry cola variant. It's got like probiotics or prebiotics. It's got like apple cider vinegar infusement, cane sugar, stevia, leaf extract, and there's some good shit in there. Haven't tried this orange mango with a lime. So I'm thinking it's the same thing. Well, oh, it's not prebiotic. This one's a straight probiotic one, not prebiotic. Because there is a difference. Carbonated water, organic juice blended from concentrate, white grape, orange, lime, mango, natural flavor, citric acid. Hey, shut up. Hey, hermano. Hey. Organic chili powder. Interesting. Sea salt, beta carotene, live probiotic, Bacillus subtilis. Well, smells really fucking good. Holy fuck, that's amazing. That's actually fucking amazing. I'm so sorry, Chad. I didn't hit you, but I almost did. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, girl. She's wagging her tail sore. Like, oh shit. Goofy girl. I'm so sorry, baby. But oh my god. Oh, this is good. Holy fuck, that's fire. That's fucking fire. Alright, where's my hat? There it is. Where are they made at? You know what? I don't even know. Cambridge, Massachusetts. Same thing for this, I'm assuming. Distributed by Poppy Austin, Texas. Okay, so is this a different brand? Are they different brand? Oh, I guess they're different brands. Huh? Gutsy Incorporate, Cambridge, Massachusetts, and this one is Poppy Incorporated by Austin, Texas. Okay, so these are different brands. So this one's got prebiotics, this one's got probiotics. But they pretty much got similar shit. But oh my god, I'm tasting the aftertaste of that chili. It's not like a spice like, ooh, tang, but it's got a little bit like a, ooh. This is fucking legit kind of good. And this is too. I mean, it was really like 2 for $2. Like they're normally like, you know, like $1.89 or some shit like that. But saw them on sale. I was like, you know what? For like, you know, some new sodas or some shit, I'll try them out. And you know what? Both of them kind of fucking bacon. Dude, there is like a straight up after like chili taste. Oh, there really is, yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh my god, there really is. But in a weird way, it's fucking good. What in the fuck is this, bro? This is good. Dude, this is fucking amazing. Fizzy, fruity, tangy, spicy, and gutsy. I didn't even think there was going to be spice in this. But there really is a little bit. It's not even like a spice like, ooh. But like, it's there though. You like mead? Oh, I fucking love mead, dude. Oh, I'm a sucker for some good mead. I'm a Northern European mutt. Like, I got a lot of that, you know, Irish and fucking Viking in me, dude. Like, of course I'm gonna love mead. I wish there was, like, some of that shit all year round, but the only time I ever could find it is only seasonal during the fall and winter. That's the only time I could ever find it. And it's like, god damn it. This shit can literally be made year round. Just fucking make it year round, damn it. Because it's, oh, I love fucking mead, dude. Meat is so good. You know what? I gotta just like buy some of that shit in bulk, just so I could literally save it and just like let it like marinate. You know what I mean? And just like let it just chill and sit in the corner and just age. And then you know, the older it is, the more like refined it probably is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Oh yeah, mead is fire. There are so many flavors of it. Oh, I know. I mean, because mead is, the predominant foundation is a honey wine, but like any wine, you could add all sorts of other stuff to it. So, when it comes to honey wine, you can add like, a little cinnamon. You can add like apple, pears, peaches. You can literally add whatever the fuck you want to it. Like, I mean, that's the great thing about mead. Like, especially when it comes to fruits and fruity notes. Like, it just will automatically complement it so well that, I mean, you can pretty much like any wine, just combine different things to it, and you just got like your own little mead, instead of like just your stereotypical honey mead. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. If you know, Even if I get a place to where like I have like a little backyard or something, I'm not even gonna lie. I wouldn't mind like doing like a little like fucking bee farming where I can collect my own honey and shit like that. Have like a little light gardening with like some flowers and stuff for them to feed on, shit like that. And maybe even like, have some random fruits and shit like that to kind of have like a little baby compost for for them to kind of suckle on and shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm thinking like, hmm, even as like a tiny little thing, I could probably have my own mead making operation. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sell it, but I'm thinking if I made my own and experimented around with it, because it's not that hard to make meat. You just need the right materials, which are easily accessible. You can easily purchase the materials to like make mead and ferment alcohol and all that. It's not that hard. You just have to know what you're doing. You just have to like learn the process, and from there, it's just about experiment and trial and error. So I'm thinking, honestly, I wouldn't mind doing that for mead, little like little bee farming and stuff like that. That would be kind of legit. I'm not even gonna lie, because I have love for the bees. Like, and honestly, I used to kind of be afraid of bees and wasps and shit, but wasps and hornets, I'm like, get the fuck away from me a little bit. I'm still kind of a little bit like that. I understand, especially if like wasps, depending on the species of wasp, they're not gonna fuck with you that much. But if like honeybees and for the most part, bees in general, depending on the the type a bee and the breed of the bee, but like depending on the bee, like you're gonna be fine too. Like I've had actually plenty of bees where I'll like actually like just literally be right all up on them, or even I've even found like a bee's nest a few times before, and I'll literally just like walk up to it and be like, "Ooh, look at this," and I'll have a few of them like kind of buzz around me, but they'll never fuck with me. They don't like. I might have one or two land on me, and I'll be like, "Uh," but they're just kind of like, "Huh, what's this thing?" And then just buzz off. I've never been stung by bees or wasps or anything like that, but I certainly don't plan to. But I mean, I've had a lot more of close encounters with wasps where I've almost been stung by them, but I'm just like, oh fuck you, oh hell no, and I'm just like, like I've gotten close with that shit with those motherfuckers, but and hornets too, like ball faced hornets and shit. Oh fuck, oh hell no, like I ain't trying to fuck with that motherfuckers. But with bees, oh, I will love and respect them and shit. And from my understand, like, I mean, as long as you literally just don't fuck with their hive, like, they generally won't be that aggressive at all. In fact, they will actually try to avoid you. So, that's why I love bees. I always want to be curious, a curious bee indeed, while I look at the bees. Lost our peckerheads. Yeah, they really are, dude. I mean, honestly, like I've noticed, like wasps will, as long as you just don't mess with them, if they're out and about doing their thing, away from their nests, like they ain't gonna fuck with you. I mean, I've kind of grown a respect for wasps too these days because, like, even in my backyard, like I have a few like weird, like wild little like mini tree bush things and various different little shit that's growing, and for some reason, I don't know why, but wasps love the fuck out of them. Actually, I have a video where I could upload as a YouTube short. I mean, like, and I've been meaning to do this, where it's like, why are these wasps like all over this shit? Blah, 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 you know, because like they literally will sit there on these little leaves and with their little like tongues and shit, you know, like it will just like lick up like some stuff. Like I could tell there's like something on the surface of these leaves. Maybe it's like a nectar or something like. Maybe they're just like collecting nectar or something. I don't know, but like it's very interesting. And I've never seen it with like wasps because like usually they. I mean, I've seen them go after various different things, including flowers too, because it will collect nectar and flowers and stuff as well. But like I've never seen that. It's so weird, and it's just like an interesting behavior. I mean, at least around here in the PNW, the wasps, you know, like as long as you don't fuck up their nests or anything, like they're actually pretty docile. Especially parasitic wasps, like you know, where they have like their own little like mud nests and shit, like mud wasps. Like those ones are very harmless. Like you know, if you see those around, you actually especially want them around and shit because like they have a way to like paralyze, you know, different bugs and insects and shit like that where you don't run around on like gardens or other, you know, plants and shit where they'll literally take it back to the nest and save it, you know, either as like, you know, a little meal for the larva or they'll plant this larva in that thing and save it in its nest and then you know it'll you know and then like you know let it be like a buffet from the inside out, you know, depending on the species of wasps it's either the outside in or the inside out. You know, I mean, parasitic wasps, you know, are actually legit probably your best friend outside of the bees. The ones out of the hives, you gotta be careful about those because some of them are just assholes. They're vital to the environment, but it's like you gotta be kind of careful of them, and when they encroach on human shit you gotta fuck them up, you know what I'm saying? Especially like the Asian giant hornets. And I saw one time. I was actually like on a lunch break from work, and I was about to head back, you know, to my house real quick because it's literally a like 1 minute bike ride, you know, from my house, you know, basically. But I literally like all this little flag thing, you know, like those little like you know corporate fucking like advertisement flags that stand straight up, and then you got like the tiny little like narrow fucking flag and shit that's really long. I swear to God, I saw a fucking Asian giant hornet just straight up like buzzing around. Giant hornet. What the fuck did I just say? Asian giant hornet. You know, buzzing around it, and it landed on the flap of the flag, and I was like, "What the fuck is that thing?" And I like walked up to it, and it was a very orange wasp-looking insect. And then it buzzed off, and it kind of came near me, and I was like, "Oh hell no!" And I just started like backing the fuck up, and then it just buzzed off into the sky, and I think maybe flew off into a tree or something. I don't even know. I just eventually I was like, "What the fuck? Where'd it go?" I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck was that thing?" And this is like right when like the whole Asian giant hornet craze started going on, where it's like, oh yeah, there's like a you know different hives and nests and shit. But the thing is, I've never seen one since. So I don't know if they're around in Oregon, but I think maybe there was an attempt of these motherfuckers trying to make hives down here, but they just can't live out here yet or something. I don't fucking know. But it was just like, whoa, bro. I mean, I was like, oh hell the fuck no. I am about to have these motherfuckers because those things literally are photogenic memory based insects. They literally will remember your fucking face. They'll remember you. They know shit like they literally have the capability of like seeing shit and remembering it. Like not like any other insect and shit. Like they're fucking really intelligent, psychotic little fucks and very aggressive, and especially around here, you know, in North America and really pretty much everywhere else around the world besides, well, Japan or, you know, China and shit like that. Like, they are very detrimental to the environment. Like, because their main prey is bees. They go after beehives and will literally, like, kill bees and then eat the nectar, eat the bees and the larvae. Like they literally specifically try to hunt for beehives. They'll eat other shit and go find other stuff, but if they find a beehive, that's their main target because that's what they're looking for. And the thing is, like when it comes to the Asian giant hornet, like even in Japan and China and all these other places, they're becoming a problem because of the population of bees globally are dwindling. It's not just in North America and Europe and shit. Like all around the world, the bee population is dwindling. So these wasps, these Asian giant hornet wasps, are now like at this point, expanding, their territory a little bit, for food sources. And on top of that, because sometimes, there's like one of these motherfuckers, is going to be in like on a ship, just like how rats and goats and any other animal and other rodents and pesticides and other shit, have traveled across the fucking oceans and shit. Like they, happen to be on these boats and then they, hop off the fucking boats and shit. So it's like, I mean, it did the same fucking shit basically. So it's like, it's just one of these fucking animals where it's like, it's an invasive species and it has to be kind of addressed. And we probably won't be able to get rid of them, especially for an insect like that. It's gonna be hard to get rid of them here. And so hunky dory that happened to be in North America. Lovely. China made him lol or Bill Gates. Come on. No, they didn't. Asian giant hornets is literally a fucking species of insectoid when it comes to wasps. Like they're literally like their species has been there for a long fucking time. Like they've been there forever. Not literally forever, but you know what I mean. Like evolutionary, they've always been there. It's just because of like, and really honestly, like I'm saying, like in a lot of cases, human intervention. Now there are an invasive species around here. Where they used to in the past not be as like environmentally friendly here, so they would just die off. Even in times past, they happen to be here. Now it's like, especially because of other factors like climate change and other shit, it's more environmentally feasible for them to live here, so they're more like of a sighting around here, and thus more detrimental to our environment. At least, especially when it comes to insects and like bees and their hives and other animals. When it comes to insects as well, because they hunt all sorts of different shit, not just bees. I have to go. So that's the other sources all. Good stream. Take care. Well, yeah, have fun with your little economic adventure there, sir. Yeah, have a good one. Thereabouts. I swear. Cass, please tell me that you generally don't believe that these Asian giant hornets are that, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but please tell me, dude. Because, bruh, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, homie, they're not. There's many things about our fucking system that are fucked and exploiting us and fucking us over. We were talking a lot about it on stream earlier, but, like, that ain't it. I know that much. Like, what? China's using them to fucking survey us or something? Because they got plenty of fucking things to do that with. The virtue of, like, third party, entities like, corporations like these platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, etc. Like, I mean, they got your data already, all right, bro? Like, I mean, they don't need like AI Asian giant hornet robot fucking wasps to do it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like it ain't that. It's if ain't arguably, it's just honestly when it comes to the whole deep state shit, it's more in your face than you think. It's literally like pretty much blatantly open and right there, being like, "Yeah, we're just doing it. We know you're dumb. Fuck you, meh." Like like the system really does kind of treat the people like that as a populace. I mean, it just, I mean, especially with how like you have like a lot of these like agents within the system doing this conspiratorial bullshit like Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, all these other motherfuckers. Like, they're agents of this broader system that I'm talking about. It's not just like a United States thing, it's a global thing. It's a globalized effort. So it's just like, I mean, without it's so much in the fucking face of everybody, it's like, I mean, it's not like there ain't no secret to it at this point. It'll be custom someday. I'll get you a piece. Don't let the hornets bite. Well, obviously, I won't let the hornets bite, nor let them sting me either. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be a customer anytime soon, there, buddy. Yeah, gonna go to the bathroom real quick here, but I'll turn up a little bit. Why not? Come back here in a minute. Feed to you. There you goofy. What you get? Goofy ass little fuck. Yeah. Bite tea. Goofy little shit. What a goofy little tad. This is generally really fucking good. I'm gonna probably have to like seek that out again next time. I'm honestly kind of a little surprised about that little like spice tank because I initially saw the orange, and then when I was about to check out, I saw the mango. I was like, ooh, and then I saw the lime after that. I was like, oh, okay. And then now I see this like spicy, tangy, like chili. And it's like, ooh. That's legit just fucking banging. I'm also thinking, I kind of want to make it like a little bit of a feast or something. Because it did also get a little bit of meat that was on sale. I was like, ooh, shit. It's like, I kind of have to get that. So I'm like, Because I'm thinking of like a good pasta dish. I don't. Oh, I just realized the problem is though I don't have the seasoning. There's some seasoning. Fuck! I just forgot about it. Shit. Oh, because I was thinking about it. I needed that. I knew there was something. There's a few. You know what? That's for another day. Cause I got a little leftover soup. Plus, like some other things I can just kind of whip up real quick. But like for a little fires. Look, I was thinking that would be pretty legit, but that'll be. You know, I need a few more ingredients, mostly like some seasoning stuff, like some Italian seasoning. We need to get some more Parmesan Reggiano, parsley. You know, so I got a few things we need. Got a couple things where I'm like, oh shit. Aren't you guys surprised? If Logan beat done with the band practice, like I'm surprised he didn't come back yet. I'm assuming he's just kind of all chilled and hanging with the boys and gals and all that shit. Assuming. The fuck is going? Dude, I swear, it's been awful. I even heard some shit when I was in the bathroom, you know, not this last time, but the time before, where I was like, there was some shit going on upstairs. I kind of was like, what is going on? And it wasn't like down here, but it was up there. I was like, what in the fuck? Dude, there's just been constant shit, dude. It's like, bet. Some of it was a little extra. But now it's just kind of like how it was yesterday. It's like, what is going on? Last few fucking days to where it's been like not like hyper intense but consistent. Because Jesus Christ, dude, it's fucking annoying. I cannot wait, bro. Oh my, this is ridiculous. Goofy boy. Is that comfortable for you? I'm gonna send to fuck it. Make it. I'm plugging out. But what? What? Is this comfortable? Are you comfortable, buddy? Are you comfortable? I guess not. You goober. Oh, little goober boy. Oh God, here we go. Well, hello. At least you're not nesting on anything. That little face. Oh my goodness. Why do you look so sad? Oh. You look sad. You're such a sad bean. Look at you. You literally look sad, bro. What? I'm giving you all the love. It's because of, do I dare say, walk? Yep, that's why. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. He ambushed me. Yep, that's why. That literally is why. Oh my God. Oh my God. Even Jazzy came out to play being like, what's up? Jazzy. Jazzy, come. Jazzy. Bug? Come here, Jazzy. Come here. Jazzy, come. Look at you. He's like, fuck you. What about me? What are you even looking at, you derp? Those fucking eyeballs, dude. His eyes are so human. Dude, it's kind of a little freaky. I'm not even gonna lie. He's got such human eyes. Like, out of all three of them, his eyes are the ones that, like, protrude the most. Beat potato. What look is this? You goofy bean. It's because you wanna... I don't even have to say anything. I'm just like, because you wanna... Little Jazzy's using the background. She's like, what about me, bitch? Look at her. Oh my god. They're so goofy. They're legit like the goofiest little fucks. Good boy. I know what you want. I'll do that. You know, fuck it. I'll do it in a minute. You know what? I got an idea. Maybe we'll do a part 2. That's what I'm thinking. Ugh. What? Jesus. Yeah, I think I know what he wants. I feel like he's been teased all day about this. He's like, I need this. These. He's like stretching. It's like, I'm gonna do my like doggo yoga to prepare myself. Oh my goodness. Dude, I am actually now feeling the spice of the fucking chili shit in this. It's like in the back now a little bit. Not unpleasantly, but a little like, whoa, okay, I feel it now. Not bad, but you know what? I'm gonna kind of sit on that for a sec. I think I got some meal water over here though. Mm. Oh my god, that neutralized that fucking spice so quick. You know, maybe after I drink a little bit more of that makes that with that. Maybe that actually might be kind of good. Because maybe what's in here might neutralize the chili kind of thing in here. Because I'm not gonna lie, they're actually, like, after a while, I've only had, like, not even halfway through this, like, I'm feeling the chili a little bit now. I didn't even think there was going to be some spicy tang going on here. Organic chili powder, man. Like, okay, like, I did not expect that until I started drinking that. But it's good, but a little like, whoa. Now I'm feeling it. The house is like its own weird, like, hive or some shit. Like, how's that even a fucking possible thing? Because it really feels like that right now. There's something about that chili powder shit in that where I'm like, whoa. Something, it's just, it's got a feeling. I'm like, whoa. How do I feel about this? How do I feel about this? Oh man, I'm really tasting it like the back of the throat right here too. Yeah, that chili, like, it comes in strong later. Like, it's not like an aftertaste immediate. It's like a long-term investment on that one. Like, whoa. It's not spicy though. That's the weird thing. It's not. It's just the flavor of it. It's so weird. I have never had a fucking, like, what weird elixir is this? Like, seriously, like, because it's not even that bad. It's just got, like, a thing going on with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good, but I'm like, Like, oh. Because the immediate flavor of that, like orange mango, a little lime hit, it hits good. But then that like chili powder shit hits way later down the line. I'm like, oh. Fuck, that is like the most interesting drink, honestly, I've had in a long time. Culture Pop soda. And it's what? Gutsy? Made for Gutsy. Well, what's the actual? Is this just that? Yeah, that's the only. Okay. Huh. Well, hey, like I said, man. Very fucking interesting, but very good. I never knew I can have like a mixed opinion about a drink, but also say it's so good. Like, cause that's how I feel about that right now, dude. There's like this weird mixed, like, I don't know about this, but it's so good. How's that work? That's honestly kind of an enigma to me. But like I said, man, it's actually pretty good. It's just surprising. Peter, you are so antsy right now. I see what you want. Yeah, I know what you want so bad. Fuck it. Now I'm thinking. I'll probably not like immediately. We're at the 333 mark. You know what? We'll wait until the 340 mark. We'll do a part 2 a little later tonight. Maybe with me and the homie, we do a little 2K or something like that. You know, just a little laid back thing. And then next time we'll do another experimental attempt of trying to get some MAGA chess in here. Because I dead ass want to really try that. I'm still gonna try. There's gotta be a way, man. And I feel like there are a few of them that do lurk, but they kind of get the ruse and they just don't even bother saying anything and leave. And I say they're bitches. But like, man, if only, bro. If only, brother. I feel like if I cast the net enough, it'll eventually happen. Give us some time. Maybe I shouldn't have things like fermented pumpkin and shit like that, or like fresh or shriveled orange or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I need to make it a little bit more extra pro MAGA in my titles and shit, just so maybe they are a little not as conspicuous. I don't know. Like, I need to know what I need to do. You know, I need to MAGA algorithm because I'm not gonna lie, bro. I want to argue with them so bad, bro. I've been itching for a minute, and I'm like, fuck. I really want to really fucking, jostle their skin, because I know they, are in this position where oh, we're kind of in our own little weird MAGA civil war, but also fuck the libs, and we're taking it to the they're in their weird little thing. I want to jostle their shit. You know what I mean? They need to be jostled up a little bit. This dog, bro, he's antsy. Why can't it be like Jets? Oh my god, hold on. I don't even want to say her name yet. Vito, why can't it be like her? She's a little ball. Look at this, so cute. She's just content in her life, just chilling, happy, sweet little thing. Look at that little face. Oh my fucking god, that little face. Oh, that is a face of happy, content, sweetness. Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute. You're just waiting, Meryl. You're so smart. You know what I said earlier, and you're antsy and waiting for it, dude. You've been waiting. Oh, yeah, you are too, but you're pretending that you're not awake. I see you looking at me. Because you both want to walk? Oh, yeah, those ball. Yeah, see, yeah, you too. Yeah, both of your ears perked up so goddamn quick. Y'all want to. I don't even have to say anything else. I just had to say y'all wanna, and they both fucking freak out. Oh my god. Dude, okay, now I'm just torturing them. This is bad. This, I feel bad now. Hi, buddy. What's up? Beat potato. Potato. Oh. I just. Why my ear, bro? Homie, the ear? Stop with the ear. Oh, okay. Might have deserved that a little bit. He didn't get my nuts, but he like got my gut in different positions where I'm like, oh fuck, oh no shit, combo punch, combo kick maneuvers. Oh, crazy boy. Wanna? Just too easy. You wanna? You're like, fuck you. Come on. Vito. Ah! You wanna... Fucking Jazzy back there. What the fuck? Oh my god, a little Jazzy back there. Hi, girl. Vito. You wanna... Oh my god. Okay, never mind.